Welcome to another Pony Express broadcast by Mark Dillon Jr. Let us start this show by bowing our heads for a quick prayer. Thank you, Lord, for another day of doing what we love. For this gathering of sim racers, and for the chance to pretend to be real race car drivers. We ask that you watch over these sim racers and their families as they gather together to enjoy the hobby of sim racing. May their spouses and children enjoy dinner, bath times, Netflix, and bedtime stories without them. May their calibration stay true, their racing rigs hold together, and their connections stay strong. May they treat each other with respect, avoid bogus black flags, and nail some green flag pit stops. May they return every night to see their friends and teammates, to click drive one more time, and to partake in the camaraderie that comes with being a part of the sim racing community. Father, we also ask that you guide and protect our veterans and their families as they make sacrifices so that we are able to spend a few hours in front of our computers trying to be like the king or the intimidator. And lastly, may we all have fun, win or lose, in your name. Amen. Now please rise and remove your hats as we join a fellow sim racer for his version of the Star Spangled Banner on guitar.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Pony Express Broadcast Network coming to you live from ECT Sim Racing. Tonight, we're going to be bringing you the Pot of Gold 300 live from Talladega. This is the first in a series of special events in a new series, the 2017 Pony Express Broadcast Network TV Championship. Tonight will be the first night we start tracking points this year for that. More details will be found on Facebook. But joining me in the booth tonight, none other than ECT driver Bandit. Bandit, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Mark?
Oh, not bad, not bad. Yeah, we've been looking forward to this race for a while. A lot of build up to this event, and it looks like we have a great turnout. I believe we're going to have at least 30 cars take the green flag tonight. It's truly going to be a big event here.
Yeah, it's quite a cross league collaboration. I'm sitting here just kind of watching it rain out the front window. At least I'm happy we have daylight. At least we're not going to call it sunshine, but we had daylight, and it looks like right now they're just kind of wrapping up practice or qualifying. Excuse me, and looks like we've got qualifying is now finished, and it's quite a mixed bag up front between the two leagues, or the two biggest leagues. We have more than two leagues, obviously, represented here tonight in this big race. This is a newer race that we've added to our schedule, this pot of gold, and then like you alluded to, now we're going to have this new basically TV series championship, and I'm like, I'm already putting myself a race down. I'm gonna have to win or something if I get in there.
Well, I hear you're pretty capable of doing just that. Um, looking at the board tonight, it looks like we have 37 or 38 drivers. Obviously, me and you won't be racing tonight. And look at that, the 144 car BSR Magoo. If I'm correct, he's one of the original founders of Bomb Squad Racing, and he took the pole tonight. And he's gonna have BSR Beezer starting right next to him.
Yeah, and then you got the owner now, current owner of BSR Pockets. He's sitting in the third spot, and behind him, or beside him, actually, the first ECT member, the I guess lead admin of this race for ECT Mike Scott. He's sitting in the fourth place there on the outside of row two.
And then it looks like we've got ECT Red Chevy, BSR Steven in the 510. Well, they'll be sitting in the third row tonight.
Row four, we got ECT Diesel, F Diesel 95, Big John there, and then BSR Scar is making up the fourth row.
Another ECT admin, ECT Poor Boy, starting in P9, and then BSR Chevy Chase starting in P10.
Row six has got BSR Chris V, and then the owner of ECT Pete Sindone, the Outlaw.
Row number 7, co-owner of ECT Spoiler, and BSR Momo.
In row 8 on the inside, we have ECT Juggalo, and on the outside will be BSR Brian Voiles.
Starting in 17th place tonight, the number 33 car, ECT Fred O. The O is for Oregon. And 18th will be BSR SS Joba.
You had to say that being a Kansas fan, didn't you? In row 10, though, not much we can do about that, is Donnie Garrett and number 2, ECT Bama.
Rolling off in 21st place is going to be BSR SR5. And starting on the outside of him will be ECT Timbo.
23rd has got Kyle Willits in the 40 truck, and in the 141, Joe Simpson will roll off 24th.
Starting in 25th place tonight, the 066 of Carson Krenz, and next to him will be BSR Hot Rod Larry Yeager Jr.
Yeah, and Carson is actually driving the truck of the 066, which is normally Axel Foley. Yeah, Axel Foley is here and alive in sim racing. He just couldn't make it tonight. In 27th, we have BSR RJ Rusty, and in 28th, ECT Chevy Man.
Rolling off 29th tonight, RTG admin Josh Metallic, and in P30, ECT B Elazor.
In 31, we have ECT Lee Helmer, another admin for ECT. And in 32nd, the 8 truck of BSR Quack.
Next up, we have the 201 BSR Texan, otherwise known as BSR Killa, and then the 339 BSR Jimmy Dale.
And wrapping up in the last starting positions will be the number 13 of ECT Bruce Phelan, also known as Q, and BSR Bubba in the 343 truck. And obviously you and I are not racing tonight, though that would be an interesting try to see if we could have like a in-truck racer doing the announcing.
Yeah, it's I don't know how good we'd be able to pull that off, because like we said, I believe there's going to be 36 cars taking the green flag tonight. Huge event here, Pot of Gold 300. There's some cash prizes on the line. The winner of this race is going to get $50. Second place $30. Third place $20. And then obviously also those top three are going to set themselves up pretty nice in the Pony Express Broadcast Network TV Championship that will have at least 2 more events later in the year, the Halloween 500, the Polar Bear 500. There is a potential 4th event that will happen in July, and then next year we're looking at 5 events, because we're actually going to start in January with the Hangover 200.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of excitement, and that's going to bring out the best of all the sim leagues that are still pretty active here. So I would expect that maybe with this new announced championship that a lot of these new upcoming races are probably going to end up having some like qualifying in races, which would be a great thing again to see in the sim community.
Absolutely. I know the Polar Bear 500 last year did have a qualifier. Looking at some of these awesome paint jobs here during the happy hour, we're looking at that Carson Krenz is driving this truck, but that is Axel Foley's truck. Axel not able to make it tonight. Axel Foley did lay down the national anthem for us, so we thank him for that.
Yes, very much. And if you know, talking about for those watching tonight or listening, we'll paint the picture the best we can. But if you notice, I don't know if it's all, but almost every BSR truck is exactly the same. Black with green numbers, green writing on it. So it's gonna be pretty easy, or at least easier, to pick out the ECT versus BSR drivers and RTG drivers, just based on the fact that most of, I guess you could call it, Team BSR are in the black and green trucks.
Well, those trucks are 99% black and green, but I got to point out here, the rear deck lids, they're rocking the familiar red Horseman Pony Express Broadcast Network. I'll try to get you a better angle of this here, but shout out to BSR Scar. He did all those paint jobs for the BSR cars, and big thanks to putting Pony Express Broadcast Network on the rear deck lid of all these trucks tonight.
Right, and one of the other big painters, he's been my painter for over like 8 years now, is ECTQ. He's got 4Q's paint shop here over at ECT, and he made me a truck. You've seen it earlier, and as a matter of fact, I put in an order for him last night to make me a full round of Pony Express rides, because I like to get in there and mix it up during practice whenever they allow, and especially on the fixed setups, so I can kind of get a good feel for what's going on.
Still kind of rolling through here, looking at all these different paint jobs. A lot of really good work out there. Obviously, everything is St. Patrick's themed.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that during all these broadcasts you'll notice. I don't know exactly what the July race's theory is going to be, or theme is going to be. Not theory. I know what the theory is. It's good, clean fun. But I'm hoping that they pick the right weekend for it. As I see watching here in happy hour, it looks like we're going to have some people pulling some backup trucks. Luckily, in sim racing, no penalty if you have to pull out a backup truck, as I see about 8 of them sitting in the infield in a just big giant mess, not even able to pull off. But I know, because in July I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling in my I guess you'd say position as superintendent of the NMRA here in South Central Kansas. So July's got me going up to a Spring Creek show in the first of the month, and then I get to the enjoyment of spending about 2 weeks in the Orlando, Florida area. So I'll return back to my home, because that's where I moved here from, was Orlando, sadly. So I get to go back and spend a couple weeks, and hopefully I'll come back home, but who knows.
All kinds of other shout outs tonight. Pete Sindone, Greg Spoiler, owners of ECT, Pockets, and all the admins over at BSR. Josh Metallic, RTG admin, is here tonight. Lots of people. Mike Scott putting in a lot of time and effort today and yesterday, getting this server set up and everybody squared away. Race LM servers for providing top-notch quality servers to the best leagues in sim racing to use.
Speaking of those people, maybe, I don't know, do we have a little bit of time? Maybe we're down to 5 minutes, I guess. I was going to say maybe we could pull a couple people in and talk at them before they actually get in the race and see. I don't know, can we do that or not, Mark?
Yeah, we could certainly get Greg Spoiler in here, or Greg Trogdon, ECT Spoiler.
All right. Can you want me to grab him, or you got it, or you want me to run down and get him?
Oh, I can grab him right here.
All righty. It is, like I said, sim racing still alive and well, thank goodness, here, and ECT and BSR have kind of renewed their friendship and friendly competition with this new series, and Drunken Cow Jerky, BSR, ECT bringing it to you. It looks like Mr. Dillon has brought there's Greg. Here's Greg.
Hey, Greg, this is Mark and Bandit in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
Good. A couple minutes left here in happy hour. We just wanted to get a word from one of the ECT owners.
I'm here for you. What you need?
Well, I mean, what can you tell us about this event, and who are your big thank yous going to for putting this on?
Well, Mark, what we did was we used to put on TV races on a regular basis at ECT, and we kind of got out of the norm on it. We still do our annual Halloween race, which you'll be doing for us in October. But we decided that we need to be putting on more special events and so forth. And with the packages and deals that you offer, you can't really beat not doing it. So we decided we were going to put this St. Patrick's Day race on, and it's turned out to a nice event. We got a big turnout. It's the cooperation of us leagues working together, and working together is what's causing all this. And I really want to thank BSR, Pockets, the BSR whole gang for working with us and cooperating with us, and helping ECT grow in numbers again, and becoming a nice, strong league. I want to thank Pony Express Broadcasting for always putting on a fantastic show. I want to thank Rob Nisus for joining you in the broadcast booth today. Last race I listened to that he was a part of was a great broadcast. I really enjoyed it. I want to thank our painter, Bruce Palin, or some people know him as Q. Wanted to thank him for all the hard work that he's done getting all these trucks painted. BSR Scar for the BSR gang, he put on a paint clinic over there and got everybody straight and painted up and ready to go. I want to thank my partner Pete Sindone and some know him as ECT Outlaw. Without him, none of this would be possible. Without Pete Sindone, ECT would not be here today and doing what we're doing. So the biggest thanks goes out to him. And once again, just want to thank you guys at Pony Broadcasting for putting this show on for us.
Well, we're glad to do it, and we appreciate you letting us come over here and do it. And we will definitely, we have plans to speak to Pete later on in the race. The other owner of ECT, will definitely talk to him and get some words from him. And it looks like happy hour is coming to an end though, and we're definitely, so we're about ready to get this underway. I'll get you back up in the race room, but we want to wish you good luck with your race tonight.
Yeah, good luck, Greg.
Hey, thanks, guys, and hopefully we put on a good show for everyone.
That was ECT co-owner Greg Trogdon, also known as Spoiler 41. Will be driving the 41 pickup tonight here in the race. Again, they're all... I was going to say Halloween. I'm getting a holiday ahead of myself. They're all St. Patrick's Day themed trucks. As a matter of fact, when I was driving around in warm-up, one of my guys I run with, an admin, Chuck McClure, ECT Red Chevy, had a red Chevy, and it was Lucky Charms. It was looking pretty good. It looks like we're getting ready here to wrap up. Yep, there we go. Happy hour is dwindling away. We got 25 seconds, and then we're going to have ourselves a big, long, I believe it's 113 laps. Is that correct, Mark?
Yes, absolutely, and probably 18 laps for a fuel window.
18 laps on a fuel window, 60% race. So this is a little bit longer race than some of these drivers are accustomed to, because the last time that I can remember we ran over 50% was, of course, the 10th annual Halloween 500,
to your cars,
which we're going to be on the, I believe, the 14th Halloween 500 this year. They're moving the trucks to the grid, and it looks like we're just about ready to start. So, Mark, I'm going to hand it over to you to the start. I'm going to get myself a little cold drink and get myself ready to rock and roll.
All right, yeah, like you said, 113 laps here live at Talladega tonight, the Pot of Gold 300. Drivers have been called to their trucks on pit road. We're getting ready to get the gentlemen start your engines command. No ladies in the field tonight. Obviously, we don't discriminate against lady sim racers. There just doesn't happen to be any here tonight.
Too bad, because this crowd needs some purdying up if you've ever seen some of these fellas.
Drivers, start your engines!
We obviously want to give a shout out. We can see the viewers, so we want to give a shout out to those joining us from home tonight or on their mobile devices. Thanks for coming out, and we hope you enjoy the show as trucks are rolling off pit road.
It's long. They're going to be taking a full pace lap here around Talladega TR Super Speedway, 2.66 miles across or around, 32 degrees plus, I believe, no, it's 30, it's over 32 degrees in the banking, and I believe it's 15 degrees on the straightaways. So we're going to be in for some hard, fast, quick racing. This is a race where you don't want to get too much or any fender damage, even though it's moderate damage. You don't want any damage, or you don't want to lose the draft, or next thing you know, you're going to be catching the draft as they work their way around to pass you and lap you. So that's one of the keys. If there were keys to the race, I would say stay in line, get yourself in line, and work the draft to its advantages. Don't lose the draft, and if you can, try to avoid the big one the best you can.
Absolutely, 113 laps, long race tonight. You're going to have to make at least 5 pit stops, so there's really no big rush. Just try to keep it clean for 100 laps, and then make your move at the finish. But the Chevy Silverado pace truck, here he comes around turn 4. He's going to head down pit road, and we are going to get this thing under green flag action. BSR Magoo on the pole.
Beezer on the outside as the pace truck made its way off. The trucks themselves have a long way to go, like over a quarter of a mile, as they make their way through the tri-oval, and they're getting ready to come up for speed, waiting for the green flag. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting. There you go. You can hear them smash their foot on the gas as Magoo and Beezer in the front row are basically nose to nose. I guess they didn't get that memo about taking their time, huh, Mark?
Oh no, they're these guys want to get out and lead. You know, everybody wants to get some TV time, lead a lap on a TV show.
Well, and quickly the second row has got nose to tail behind the pole sitter there. So you've got Magoo, Pockets, and ECT Red Chevy now. Kind of the first 3 trucks single file. Everybody else is 2 and in some places 3 wide. Now Chuck, which is Red Chevy, looks to the inside of Pockets, and he's got some help from the 95 of Mike Scott. Looks like Hillbilly Racing is going to form kind of like Wonder Twin power there, as Mike Scott, who of course is the leader of the Mike Scott Institute for Fuel Saving. Him and Chuck have now pushed Chuck in Red Chevy, Lucky Charms Chevy, into first place. Mike will move into second, and taking third will be the number 24 Poor Boy, as we start in on our second lap.
Yeah, those ECT guys not wasting any time of jumping out there, getting lined up together. Those 3 are very used to racing with each other, and so they know. And Chuck McClure out there in that 17, he is a super speedway master.
And where we lost Chuck, it looks like. I don't know exactly what happened there. Hopefully it's not too serious of an electrical issue there, but right now, well, now he's back, and Mike Scott is still on that rear bumper. And, you know, they have a thing about Hillbilly Racing, that you can't be part of Hillbilly Racing unless you're willing to wreck your partners. So it has happened. I don't expect it to happen this early in a TV race unless they get some help. But right now, it looks like the outside is the way to go. Is we've got the 3 drivers from ECT, followed by Pockets, and the gang, Pockets, Magoo, and can't get that third truck though, but he's a BSR truck, that I know. Actually, BSR is lined up on the outside, 4 trucks deep, and let's see what happens. It looks like they're going to try to split Hillbilly Racing faction of ECT. That's Chuck and Mike, with a little help from Poor Boy, and looks like Greg Trogdon there has moved up quickly, and he's part of that 2 wide back from 4th on.
And it looks like we do have 36 trucks in this race. It is showing ECT Chevy Man is 1 lap down. Not sure if he missed the start there, but we do still have 36 trucks in the field.
And
whoa, we got a
first wreck. We got a first wreck. And give us just a second here, and we'll be able to tell you exactly what happened. That happened a little further back in the field there. It looked like it happened the center of the eye there. Oh, the number 2 of ECT Bama got loose, looks like, and started to spin. I know Bama wasn't feeling too great at the beginning of the race. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but he loses it, I'm gonna say by himself from the looks of things, and then he goes up the track, and it just kind of gets ugly from there, Mark.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and head over to the caution rewind screen for the first time tonight while they clean up this mess, and we'll go back and find a replay for you.
There we go. It looks like everybody. I'm trying to see if the 2 is able to continue. Yeah, the 2 is able to continue, but I can tell he's got. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage there on the back end. His spoiler seems to be pushed forward. I don't know if that's going to help him or hurt him when it comes to aerodynamics. I do know one thing for a fact: not feeling good. 113 lap race. It's going to be a long race for him. That's for sure. Unfortunately.
And here we go, taking another look at it. We see the 2 get sideways, and then carnage ensues. 10, 15, perhaps 20 cars involved in this one. We are on moderate damage, so we'll see how things look after they get this all cleaned up. We'll go ahead and rewind, see if we can't get a different angle of this.
Right. Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm watching the in live action. I've got an eye on the number 2 truck, and he is, like I said, the 2 truck looks like the blade is actually bent forward. And what I'm hearing from race control is that the number 53 of Chevy Man, or Carl Blackmore, will be the lucky dog when we get back racing. But I see the teams pulling out the sawzalls and the baseball bats and the sledgehammers to do some old-fashioned reconditioning of their trucks. Got an eye here on, like I said, on Bama to see how long he ends up in pit road. I see some smoke there, so that's not a good sign when you get smoke. But he had not the longest pit stop I've seen, or that I've had either, but a fairly long one. As you can see, the smoke and the dust clearing from pit road as everybody gets back and starts lining up for the restart here after everybody goes ahead on lap 6 and takes advantage of the ability to pit. Now, for those of you watching that maybe don't know how we do lucky dogs and wave arounds and stuff like that here on these series races like this, what's going to happen is the 53 truck will pit the second time by. He'll go ahead and take as many tires as he desires and as much gas as it needs to pack that tank up, and then he's going to take off and he'll go around the field and go up to the pace truck, and then when the pace truck turns his lights off for that one lap, that truck, which is a 53, will take off and sail off into turns 1 and 2, and basically he has to make the equivalent of 2 laps in the same time that the field makes a lap. And then as the race goes, the admins will clear the black flag that he'll get from passing the pace car, and that will put him 1 lap closer to being back on the lead lap, I believe. So there's a primer on that. Mark, you've got that, maybe another replay or something for us?
Well, as you saw from that last camera angle on that replay, the 2 was behind Donnie Garrett, and it looked like the low line just had to check up a little bit in the middle of the corner, and the 2 car may have gotten a little help there from the 56 car. Not sure. It was very close. Could have just been they have the net code issues, but I don't think the 2 got loose. I think he had a little bit of help.
I wondered. I couldn't quite tell from my angle, but I wondered because the 2 is a long-time sim racer, good sim racer, and he's pretty proficient on the super speedways. As BSR Bubba right now is lining up in P1 behind the pace truck. I'm assuming that since he was towards the back, either he's not going to pit as a strategy move, or maybe he just waited to pit towards the end. Maybe they're giving. I don't remember them saying anything about giving points for leading laps or anything. It would be a little unusual, but with this new thing, you never know. But he sure is using up the back bumper of that poor pace truck driver. But I'm looking. Well, no, I can't tell if he's going to pit or not. As the 53, that's our lucky dog. Our lucky dog is back here, or up at the front, ready to, as soon as the lights go off, like I said, 53 will go around. And yes, Bubba and a couple other trucks are going to go ahead and top off again. And I believe that's going to put Red Chevy, Chuck McClure, back in the lead.
Well, and everybody out here, all 36 of these drivers, the best of the best sim racers out here, and regardless of whether it was the 2 or the 56, or regardless of whose fault it was, that was definitely just tight racing. Just a minor checkup going into the corner at 200 miles an hour. I don't think it could have been avoided. You really got to have some split-second reaction times out here at 200 miles an hour. The lights are out on the pace truck. We're going to go back to green flag racing. We've got the 17 truck, Chuck McClure up there. He is your race leader. He has chosen the inside, and then you have F Diesel. He's going to be restarting on the outside.
Another member of the guys that they tend to work together. They're excellent in fuel mileage and fuel saving, and they run together a lot on Thursday nights over at RTG on their Tally Challenge. As we watch Chevy Man go ahead and earn his way back up, and he's making his way up to catch up with the field there in his Jameson Chevy. But you were saying that contact was hard to avoid, and that may or may not be true. But one thing about tonight's race, people may or may not know, but it's what they call a two-in-park race, which means if you cause 2 cautions, you've got to call it a night, and that's why it would be important as whether 2 lost it or got a little help, because if he got help, then that wouldn't be his black flag, or it wouldn't be his one of his 2 yellows caused. So the lucky dog has caught up to the back of the field, and it looks like he's going to ride shotgun with the 11 truck, another Lucky Charms truck there of Lee Dog or Lee Helmer. And it looks like we're just about ready to go green. I'll give it to you in the front of the field there, Mark.
And it looks like the 2 and the 56 both starting in the back, so not sure if they're both claiming partial responsibility. But here we go. The 17 takes the green flag.
17 takes the green flag, and it looks like he's getting help from the 41 Ford of Spoiler. And, nope. Chuck moves up to the high side and picks up John Forgione, or F Diesel, who's got a lot of help on the backside there from Poor Boy. But looks like Greg Spoiler, who we spoke to earlier tonight, has got a little help from a BSR member, and I'm trying to catch the number there. The 144, I believe that's Magoo, helping him. And we're 3 wide going through the corner on the restart. Actually, technically 4 wide, but we're going to see how long they're going to go 3-4 wide. This could be the rest of the race. It's not unheard of when these guys get together like that. But right now, the 2 lead trucks are the 17 Lucky Charms and the 95 Chevy of John Forgione. And it looks like they've added a 3rd truck again, a Poor Boy.
And now things settling down a little bit. We actually are. Looks like the caution has come out. That must have been in the back of the field. I don't see anything up here in the front half.
Looks like we have a caution you are correct, in the back of the field. There's a couple trucks involved. One of them is a BSR truck, and I can't quite tell the number on the other one. You know how sim graphics are, but it looks like the other Chevy truck there took the worst of it. Is the BSR and the 77 of the Nature Boy are pulling away from the wreck and making their way. It looks like BSR Brian Voiles was involved in that one. He's the BSR member, and we'll go back and take a look at the other two real quick.
Alright, so we're going to head over to the caution rewind screen, go back and see what happened to Brian Voiles.
Well, you're looking for that. It looks like Quack, I'm going to say, must be involved, because even though pit road is closed, Quack dove in there as soon as he could, which means he must have been involved and possibly popped the tire there, maybe trying to avoid it or something. I don't know until you see the rewind. If he actually made contact and just blew a tire trying to avoid the wreck. Also, Josh Metallic back there. I don't know if he was just riding back there or if he unfortunately was involved in this.
Driver, to your car.
But it looks as things. I want to say that it probably epicenter was right back there to the back, because other trucks that I see kind of hanging behind that are going in were Last Time's Lucky Dog, Carl Blackmore, Josh Metallic, the Nature Boy, Don and Garrett, and Brian Voiles. So as soon as we get that replay, we'll go ahead and take a look at it.
And we're back. You guys are just going to have to accept Bandit's play-by-play on that replay. Not sure what happened there. I just got booted out of the server, so now it won't let me rewind and show you the crash. So we'll luckily we had the play-by-play by Bandit though, as I was getting reconnected into the server.
Well, let's see. Yeah, I can. Well, I'm not going back. I'm going by sides. That's not going to help me any. I'm going to roll it back here then while you do that. While you get yourself reconnected to the system, I'm going to go ahead and back it up and see exactly if we can tell exactly what happened with. At least I can give you a replay of what I see here. Like I said, I'm focusing on the 68, the BSR Brian Voiles, because he seemed to be the first truck to pull off of whatever. So unfortunately we won't be able to show it, so I'll just have to paint a picture for you while we're waiting to go green here. Okay, now we got trucks spinning and okay, looks like the same thing that happened to the 2 truck. 68 got loose, got down on the apron, came back up, and he was spinning, and there were trucks trying to avoid him, but you can't always avoid them. And matter of fact, a couple of trucks involved. Donnie Garrett got into Josh Metallic, and looks like he might have even, I don't know if he's flipped. Yeah, they flipped Josh Metallic. And then he was up over on his roof. He did at least a full 360, hits the truck of, he hit Brian Voiles on the second time as Voiles hit the wall, and poor Bama just can't buy himself a break. With nowhere to go, he ends up hitting the back end of Voiles' truck. And so that's kind of what happened. Basically, long story short, the 68 got down on the apron and then shot everything right back up into the mess. And from there, it was just pandemonium.
And here we go. Chuck McClure still being scored as your race leader. John Forgione P2, Poor Boy 3, Spoiler 4, and BSR Chris V in 5th. The number 8 car BSR Quack has retired, and so we have lost our first truck of the night. We do still have 35 trucks in the field here with just under 100 laps to go at Talladega.
Been a lot of action here these first 14 laps, not even counting the fact that you fell out. But I'm guessing that, loose is fast, and that these guys have maybe set their trucks up a little loose, or maybe that 3 wide made them a little nervous. I'm not for sure what happened, but that's the second truck to end up touching the apron. But unfortunately, this one was in a bad spot, and when he went up, there was no avoiding it, and it looked like 9 trucks. So I guess that's our first big one according to NASCAR on Fox standards. We had 9 trucks go down and be involved in that wreck, and we still haven't got to the point yet where the lights are going out. So nobody's really formed up, other than the fact that looks like the first 4 right now are ECT members, as we've got Red Chevy, F Diesel or John Forgione, Poor Boy or Roger Blevins, and behind him Spoiler 41, Greg Trogdon. And they're now starting to form up. So the first 2 rows are ECT, and it looks like the next 4 or 5 rows are BSR. So I say it's going to be a very interesting restart.
Absolutely. We're 15 laps into this race. We have unfortunately had, 2 cautions. I'm sure over there in the race room, these guys are probably getting told by the admins that they need to settle down. 100 laps to go, and just kind of pace themselves, and hopefully things will settle down here, and we'll get some good green flag racing going, some green flag pit stops.
Mark, I got an odd question. Everybody's heard the old axiom in racing that cautions breed cautions, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then why don't babies breed babies? Using that axiom, I guess that was kind of one way out there, but for some reason that popped in my head, and you know me, I say what's in my head.
Well, sometimes they do, right? They're Irish twins. In fact, some people, as soon as that window opens again, they knock up their old lady, and they call it Irish twins when you have kids back to back like that.
I was a good boy. I at least waited 1.5 years between mine, I think. Yeah. They're going to kick my butt, but they don't talk to me anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I've got one set 20 months apart, and then the other is 5 years apart. So I think I was smarter the first time than the second time about grouping them up so tight.
And here we go. The lights are still out on the pace truck. Not sure why this caution is taking so long.
I would say it's probably the retirements, Mark. All the retirements, a lot of cleanup. Maybe the game. There goes the lights. They're finally out now. So yeah, we had a long caution, especially at Talladega. And that right there will be a big reminder to the drivers. Do you really want to go 4 or 5 laps at 55 miles an hour, 55, 60 miles an hour, as opposed to going dang near 202 is what I was doing in the draft this afternoon when I took the Pony Express Broadcasting Dodge Ram out there, Pot of Gold Ram out there, and was running with the pack there. I got up to 202 going down the back stretch. So if I'm able to do it, I'm pretty sure these guys are probably even surpassing 202.
Yeah, this is an open setup race. I guess we didn't touch on that earlier. It is open setup. There are people out there like Mike Scott. He'll give you his setup, and he'll tell you to come get some.
That he does, but you can have a man's setup, but unless you know how to drive that man's setup, you've just got a good, maybe a good, in the case of Mike Scott, a good stable setup. But the way he drives his setups, there's very few people that can drive his setups the way he can drive them. That's why he made the announcement in the meeting that he'll give you his setup if you want to come get some. But Mike is, I don't see him up towards the front right now, and that's probably because he's in the back saving fuel. We always make a joke that as soon as practice starts, Mike Scott is saving fuel. Pace truck is getting ready to pull off, so it looks like we're getting ready to hit the start. The trucks are making their way through the tri-oval there, getting ready to come up on start-finish line. We don't have a real start zone. We have to wait till the green flag and then to start-finish. And it looks like the 17 truck of Chuck McClure got himself a good jump, and the 24, or the 95 and the 24 slid in behind him. But right now, Chuck's got almost too much of a lead. If he can't get himself another truck, let that 95 catch up to him in the 24, he's going to be engulfed by everybody. That's the question, is see what happens right now as, well, nope, they're going to go ahead and play nice, and instead of going around him, they just tow in behind him. So Chuck will lead his merry band of Irishmen. The three truck draft right down the middle, as you got BSR on the bottom and Spoiler and BSR on the top, making their way around, kind of slowly engulfing the trio. And looks like the 24 is going to move down and see if he can't ride the bottom lane to the lead.
Yeah, 3 wide here for the lead. This is nuts. Cars everywhere, 3 wide, 195 miles an hour. This is Talladega racing at its finest.
They go ahead and they go back to 2 wide. Chuck right now, the red Chevy, slips back into second place as the Ford of the number 41, Greg Spoiler, or Greg Trogdon. See, now you got me calling him Greg Spoiler. Greg Trogdon, also known as Spoiler, has got himself a sniff of the lead in that. Matter of fact, he'll lead that lap in his Ford F-150. He's getting help there on the high side. Now the bottom is starting to reform up again. They've decided to go 2 wide, and looks like the 17 has got a little bit of a lead there on the 41. Let's see if he was able to shut the door or what's going to happen here. They're nose to nose as they go into turn 3, coming off the backstretch.
And here we go, the 17 Chuck McClure fighting back on the low side.
Low side is always kind of known as the best side because, of course, the shortest way around the super speedway is the bottom. And right now, it looks like going back in the field, everybody is pretty much double file that's able to stay in the lead pack. There is, with the help of John Forgione, the 17 truck, a red Chevy, when it goes ahead and pops up in the lead, and it looks like John has got a solid hold on number position 2 right now.
Everything's still 2 wide for the most part now. Things starting to calm down. Drivers starting to get in a rhythm and get the feel of the track and the other competitors out there. If you go back to the middle of the field, you see some 3 wide action. You see Pete Sindone in the middle of 3 wide action back there.
Pete Sindone is a hard charging driver, and sometimes he can make his own truck 3 wide. So I'm waiting. I mean, I know it's a long race, but I'm semi-surprised, and maybe it's the cautions, but we're 21 laps in, and he's not in the front yet. He will, I tell you what, he will work his way into the front. I'll guarantee you that it happens, because the man is just that driven. and he's constantly, he's a hard charging driver, and I expect to see him in the front at the latest before midway. As like I said, everything's kind of slowed down, and Chris V, BSR Chris V, moved to the high side and picked up Greg and Pockets in that group, but there's still a lot of shuffling, and it looks like right now the majority of drivers are sticking to that bottom side, and with that, slowly, one at a time, trucks are starting to go ahead on the bottom and clear the competitors from the high side.
And it looks like one of our viewers at least has submitted a pick to win the race. Looks like BSR Tyler, the driver responsible for coming up with the idea of the PEBN TV Championship. Him and his girlfriend Rhoda, they have chosen BSR Pockets to win the race tonight.
Interesting. We didn't make it pre-race, but it's 23 laps in, so they still have 90 laps. Do you think it's time for us to pick a winner maybe this race?
Yeah, we can do that. I don't think it's cheating. It's kind of like when the roulette wheel is spinning. You still have a little bit of time to place your bet. And so I'll go ahead and go first. I'm gonna go with the 41. I'm going to go with ECT Spoiler.
I'm going to go with what would be considered the... Wow, man. We got truck sliding. Chris Van Vliet in the 10 truck is sliding. He just took a shot. Oh, my goodness. Carnage in the back in the middle. Looks like he took a shot from the 87. It was ugly. A truck got loose. Two trucks got together. Hopefully you can get the replay this time. I can just tell you what I seen, and then I'll make my prediction. Couple trucks there, they just got together and started knocking the heck out of each other. And number 10 truck of Chris V is hurting, and it looked like the 46. I think the 46 made it through. But while you're looking for the replay, I'll go back and see who we can name for being in this one. As the yellow comes out, the third yellow comes out again on lap 24. Looks like the 339 of Jimmy Dale was involved in it pretty bad. His front fender there on the driver's side is looking pretty rough.
And we're at the caution rewind screen, going back to look and see what happened to number 10.
Billy Ellisor, it happened above there, and he was, I think, the incidental contact. But one truck got knocked in the grass, another one got knocked into the wall, and then once they got knocked into the wall, it looked like it was just pandemonium there. Real quick, and this pit stop. See, I'm going out on a limb now because this pit stop may change it all, but I'm going to pick the number 17 Lucky Charm Chevy driven tonight by ECT Red Chevy. That's my pick for the race. Call me what you want, but I'm not dumb. I picked Sebastian Vettel last night. He won the Formula One race. My boy from Kansas had a good finish in the NASCAR race, so my brother from another mother in West Virginia, I pick him tonight. Sorry, Chuck.
Oh man, watching the replay here, it looks like the 141 just got loose, shot towards the wall and overcorrected, came back down. Tough break for the 141 there. Looked like he just got loose there on the high side.
So it was the 141 that created all that, because I mean there were like 8-9 trucks again spinning. I don't know how much body work, but definitely a lot of tires are going to be replaced after that one.
And speaking of people who are gone, Brian Voiles, who was involved in a earlier caution. He has retired from the race. Perhaps too much damage to continue. It looks like ECT Pete Sindone looks like he's 2 laps down. It looks like he may have also retired. And BSR Magoo being shown a lap down. Currently 32 trucks on the lead lap. Almost a quarter of the way through this race.
And it looks like the trucks are going to go ahead. Those that didn't pit the first time are pitting now here on the second time. And with there being trucks laps down, you can expect that we're going to have another long caution. And it looks like another one of the damaged trucks there pulling down pit road. And I'm going to see if I can't get a look at who he was. But I noticed his back end was jacked up. Hold on just a second. Oh, nope, cameras don't want to play right today, so I couldn't tell, but it was a white and green truck was going in pit road, and I could tell where it looks like maybe somebody used the ARCA brakes and used him to stop because his TV panel was pretty smashed in, like it took a nose of a pickup. So I'm sure we'll see it because he'll be somebody who will be running towards the back of the field here as things go.
And we had hoped to get a word from ECT owner Pete Sindone tonight. Unfortunately, it looks like his night has come to an end early. So instead, we've already talking to ECT owner Spoiler. Now let's see if we can't get a word from BSR Pockets, the head admin over there at BSR. Hey Pockets, you got a copy?
Got you, Mark. What's going on, fellas?
Well, we just figured we talked to Spoiler earlier on about this race, and we figured we'd get a word from the head BSR representative. And what can you tell us about this new TV championship deal?
Well, it's something that one of our teammates, BSR Tyler, approached us with, and we thought it was a good idea. Where we're gonna keep points. We're gonna keep track of all these TV races between BSR and ECT. All these special events. These are just the special premier events, and we're gonna keep track of them. And along with the help from you great guys at Pony Express Broadcast Network, we're gonna see who comes out good here in these special events and offer them a special prizes, and see who comes out on top in these events. We've already committed to Drunken Cow Jerky, giving out some Drunken Cow Jerky prizes to the top guy in some of these races. We got several special events coming up this year, so we're going to see how it shakes out.
Now, we see all of those Drunken Cow Jerky matching cars out there tonight. We were looking at them during practice, because it's you guys have my logo all over the deck lid. Who's responsible for these paint jobs?
That's BSR Scar. We needed to come up with a special St. Patrick's Day scheme, so it's just easier for him to paint one scheme and put everybody's number on it. And we wanted to represent the best broadcast network out there in NASCAR Racing 2003, so that's why we're flying the Pony Express broadcast colors on our trucks.
Well, we definitely appreciate it, and we appreciate Scar at WLS Graphics and all the work he does. He does all of your broadcast graphics as well. He does all of the labeling and advertising for Drunken Cow Jerky too. Is that correct?
That is correct, and he along with BSR Wings does all the majority of our paint schemes, and does great work for Drunken Cow Jerky, as well as that's his business. He does all kinds of stuff in his day-to-day business and in the graphics, and he's really good at it, and we really appreciate all the volunteer work he gives us.
All right, the caution lights are out. We're going to go back to green flag racing. I just wanted to let you know that I picked ECT Spoiler to win the race.
Oh, that's a good pick.
But I wanted to let you know that Rhoda picked you to win.
Oh no, Rhoda. Well, maybe if Rhoda picked me, I'll do pretty good. I trust her, so we'll see what we got. We'll try to bring it home for her.
I was gonna say I chose not to pick you, but I did pick
Thanks,
Chuck.
Rob.
So we'll see what
All
happens.
right, a good pick, a good pick there, Rob.
Yeah, Captain Obvious.
All right, so there we go. That was PSR Pockets. Pace truck is off, and Chuck McClure, John Forgione on the front row. They're going to lead us back to Green Flag Racing.
And we're waiting as the trucks get up to full speed as the green flag drops. Already at the back of the field, they're going 3 wide. Some interesting situations here. I was looking through and I ran down while you were talking to Pockets. I ran down to the garage, and evidently the outlaw Pete Sindone had gearbox problems. He must have been one of those trucks that was involved in one of those wrecks. And, you know, Brian Voiles retired after the wreck, and so did Quack with a busted wheel. Looks like Magoo had header problems, and then the 56 was sat for the rest of the race. We'll have to wait till the end of the race to see if we can get a answer to what happened there, but we'll find out if we can at the end of the race, as the action, at least in the back half of the crew, is kind of calmed down, because you don't want to lose that draft like I told you. And I'm going to go ahead, Mark, send it back to you in the front while I hurry up and change perspectives.
And here we go. Look at this. Donnie Garrett, the Nature Boy, the number 77 truck, coming into the picture, cracks the top 5 for the first time tonight. Donnie Garrett, no surprise to see him up front at a super speedway race. Some people say that's the only type of race he can run. I don't believe it. I think Donnie could run anywhere, but there definitely are drivers out there who prefer super speedway racing. I'm one of them. I prefer super speedway racing. That's just me. I can race other stuff. I just like the thrill of super speedway racing, and as charismatic as the Nature Boy is, I'm sure that's his real reason for showing up to so many super speedway races. He likes the thrill.
Is that what we're calling it now? Charismatic? In that case, I'm totally charismatic. That's why I ended up here. No, I think they just figured out it's 2 less cautions if they move me up to the broadcast booth. But Chuck is having, looks like, an easy time now at the lead, as it's the 17, the 94, and the 24 are the top 3 trucks. And then it looks like we've got the 46. No, not the 46. I know it's not the 46. It must be Bubba. BSR Bubba's still bringing up the bottom, or back. Mike Scott is up there. Okay. He's got a green truck. And then we got the 77 of Donnie Garrett. So basically, the first 5 trucks are single file, and everybody else is double file behind them, including SR5 and Killa or Texan. Momo's up there towards the front. Greg Spoiler. See, are you happy now? Forever I'm going to start calling him Greg Spoiler. But Greg Trogdon has dropped back to 11th, through another driver who spent some time in the lead. But maybe he got his point if they're giving points for laps led, and decided now's the time just to run and put some laps behind you, as we've cracked the quarter mark now for sure, as we've got 32 laps behind us. And hands down, I would have to say ECT Red Chevy or Chuck McClure leading the most laps so far anyways, but we're early in the race.
Yeah, only 32 laps in here. Still a long ways to go. Hopefully, things seem to have really settled down now after that last huge caution. And it looks like, talking about people we've lost BSR Magoo, BSR Joba. Looks like BSR Chevy Chase has left. It looks like we're going to be down to 30 trucks here left in this race. Yeah, the front five pretty much single file. There are a couple BSR drivers now trying to get the high line going. That's the 002 and the 201 SR5 and Killa.
They're doing their best, but they just don't have much help right now. I mean, behind with them, it's almost too wide. But they are drafting a little bit. They're drafting not really tight. Well, now they're tightening up there on the 77 truck of the Nature Boy, and if they do that right, they'll be able to maybe move up a little bit. Whoa! As the truck gets shot out of line real quick, that's the SR5, BSR SR5 there that got kind of, I don't know if he got bumped or if he got scared there. Hey, look at that. The Ford of the number 2 truck, ECT Bama, has made his way back up into the field there towards the front. Now he's in the top 10. That's a good recovery from him, as he was the first caution and then took a pretty good shot the second caution. So he's made his way in the top 10 though. But like I said, Chuck McClure, I don't know, most of the drivers know, but his son Devin is one of the specialists on the 47 car for JTG Doherty Racing. So, that's the funny thing of how sim racers grow up and they end up working with real racing. And that's, like I said, that's one example. We've had a driver here, he's not here tonight, Herman, who works in the Xfinity series right now. So, people may think this is a bunch of people that just wish we could race, but in reality, this is a lot of people that have learned how to race and worked their way not from here on, or in some cases came from real racing on. And so, it may be a 14-year-old racing platform, but it's alive and well and doing good here in 2017.
And it looks like those. I was just about to speak, and we've got a big wreck. We see BSR Beezer and the 00 involved in that one. Caution is out. Lap number 36. Caution number 3 of the night. We'll have to go back and look at that, but I did see the 00 of Beezer in that one. It looked like the 141 might have got a piece of the action.
Yeah, it only looked like about 11 cars survived through there. It looked like BSR Rusty, RJ Rusty made it. Greg Trogdon made it. 066 that was originally supposed to be Axel Foley, who does our national anthem for us. His truck made it through, but it looks like he's had some electrical connection issues from the way that his truck is looking. So looks like they've done some work on that and they got him back out on the track. But yeah, a big wreck in the back middle third of the field there. And as soon as Mark has got that replay done or set back up, we'll go ahead and I'll let him walk you through the wreck, as all I seen was the smoke, but I do see some of the trucks from the back made their way through, including the 13 of Bruce Phelan.
And it looks like that. Looks like teammates got together there. We'll see if we can get another angle of this replay. It looks like BSR Chris V and BSR Beezer perhaps touch. Take another look at it here. You see BSR Chris V making the pass on the low side. And then he starts to move up. Didn't quite have the 00 cleared. And they make contact, and the rest is super speedway wrecking.
The rest, they say, is history, right?
Absolutely. Yep. It's already behind us. We're on lap 37 now, and we will continue moving forward in this race.
Pit road is open, and the first batch of cars, those that made it through the wreck, come down pit road for a fresh set of rubbers and maybe a little visit from the sledgehammer or the baseball bat there to clear those fender wells, as there's a lot of rough and tumble driving already. And like I said, we haven't even hit the halfway point. I think people don't realize that it's a 60% race, not a 50% race. So they're going to be here for a while. So they might want to keep their fenders on their trucks and also their back ends, because I'm seeing a few of them that have elevated trunk lids. What I like to call it is when your back end gets pretty jacked up from either becoming a set of ARCA brakes or backing it into the back wall. But like I said, the first 10 trucks and change, it looks like the first 17, 18 were able to come down pit road. And like I said, the recovery of Bama, incredible. You know, he was the first caution when he kind of got loose there or whatever going into the corner early in the race. But, you know, they say loose is fast, so that's what you got to expect it.
And it looks like we have lost Kyle Willits as well as Joe Simpson. We're down to 28 trucks. We talked about the BSR paint jobs. Perhaps Bandit, perhaps you would like to pull Q in here and talk about his paint.
Gladly. Let me see if I can get him. How you doing there, Bruce? This Bandit and Mark up here in the booth.
Oh, having a great night, guys. How's it going up here?
We're doing pretty good. I noticed you were able to looked like you slipped through that caution, so congratulations on that one. I know how sometimes that can kind of really wreck your race.
Yeah, the Aaron Gobrala Chevy is in perfect condition at the moment, so we're just biding our time.
Yeah, this is one of those times where I wish I was on the track, because I know you always have a special TV panel paint job, and unfortunately we don't have the camera angle to get it, but we're bringing up the owners and some of the painters, so we wanted to bring you up. And you know, you didn't do a team paint. You've done probably 20, I'm guessing close to 20 different paints. I know you did my Pony Express truck itself.
Yeah, I did 27 total.
27 out of 38. So you did a big hunk of them, and like I said, from what I can tell, no two are really exactly the same.
No, they aren't two even close, actually.
Well, that's what most people have come to expect when they use. I call it 4Q. I know you say QQQQQ, but I can't count to 4. So either way, you're like the premier painter and ECT, and personally, in my opinion, in the sim world. But I may be a little jaded since you spent the last 8-9 years painting almost everything I've driven, and from what we've gathered now, I'm up to almost a terabyte.
Yeah, well, I just do it to help people out, you know.
Yeah, and I know as somebody who can't paint, we appreciate it. So what's your plan to try to make it through the rest of the race?
I'm just keeping my eyes open and not pushing my luck, and just slowly but surely moving to the front, and got to be there at the end to win. So,
well, good luck. Going to go ahead and give you the mic and give you a chance to thank who you'd like to thank, and well wishes to who you want to wish well.
okay, well, I'd just like to thank ECT for putting on a great race. Mike Scott putting in a hell of an effort. Thanks, Pete and Greg, and that'll about do it. Have a good night.
All right, thanks a lot, Bruce. Good luck for you, and hopefully there's not some curse of me talking to you during the race. So go ahead, Mark. Let you set the balls up while I finish my job.
All right, the lights are out on the pace car. We're back to double file. Chuck McClure, John Forgio, and still your leaders on the front row. Poor Boy, Mike Scott, second or third and fourth, and then Donnie Garrett rounding out the top five. We are going to go back to green flag racing here on lap number 41. We're quickly closing in on halfway. This is our third caution of the night. We've had some tremendous three wide racing here. We have lost, seven trucks, but we do still have 28 trucks in this race, all of them on the lead lap, and we're really looking forward to the next 63 laps of this race. Obviously, we just had Bruce Fallon, ECTQ, in the booth talking about all of the paint jobs he did for these ECT guys out here, and we talked about BSR Scar, who did all the BSR paint jobs earlier.
Yeah, that's once we got into this game and the new mods, that's an art, to be honest. I mean, I can paint a pretty good aero car and a cup car, but other than that, I'm done. And since nobody runs the cup mod anymore, it looks like the pace truck is going to make that hard left turn onto pit road now. And Donnie Garrett looks like in the lead of the pack now. No, I'm sorry. My bad. My monitor hadn't updated. But here we go. Let's get back to the top. Okay, 117. It looks like Chuck and Mike and Poor Boy. So that's Mike Scott, Roger Blevins, John Forgione, and Chuck McClure, the first four. At least 3/4 of them, I think, are considered part of Hillbilly Racing. And it looks like instead of they got the Hillbilly Racing draft going right now, as there's a little bit of a fight for a position for number 4. Donnie Garrett tries to move the 46 truck of Mike Scott out, and Mike Scott will have nothing to do with that in his whoop-de-doo, I got a Subaru pickup. It's hard to believe, but yes, in sim racing you can drive what you want. And from what I seen there down on the row, Mike Scott's driving a Subaru, and he wasn't going to let the Astroglide truck push him around. But right now we got the first 4 trucks nose to tail, and then after that they're fighting for 5th position pretty tight there, and that's between actually now 4th place between Donnie Garrett, Mike Scott, and looks like SR5 are all there in a group. I expect that to find Poor Boy, John, and Mike and Chuck will slide down, and that way they'll be able to pick up Mike. But he keeps getting kind of driven further and further down the track, so he may have to go his own way if he can't get in there. Down there they go. I expected to see it. They all kind of slide down, but they haven't been able to pick him up, as Chuck McClure in the Lucky Charm Chevy, the red Chevy, leads lap 42, and of course has been the lap leader.
Oh, and just to clarify on how the points are going to work for this PEBN TV championship, it actually wasn't worked out beforehand. But you know what? Since my name's on it, and I haven't got to make any decisions, I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision here, and I'm going to say that there is going to be a bonus point for leading the lap, because all leagues do that. So why not count it for the TV championship? And there's also going to be a bonus point for leading the most laps in one of these TV races. So there are bonus points on the line, and they will count. So if the 17 does in fact lead the most laps tonight, he will get two bonus points towards the PEBN TV championship. That's my executive decision. You can take it to the bank. I will make sure that Mike Scott and Larry Yeager, who are going to be handling those points, that they know that's how I want it to work.
All right, sounds like a plan, Stan. As they go single file, the first 3 are still red Chevy, John Forgione, and Poor Boy, but we've had some changes behind them, as SR5 and BSR Pockets have moved in between them and ECT Mike Scott, and Then behind him looks like is Bruce. No, behind Mike Scott is a 77 Donnie Garrett. I don't expect that he'll stay there for very long. And then behind him, we got the 2 truck of ECT Bama, and behind him, the gentleman we just spoke to, ECTQ in the number 13 truck. And guys, if you get an opportunity, I tell you what, if you get to race with Bruce, please check out his TV panel. I heard he had to put some pasties on this one so that in case we accidentally had a camera that good.
Well, when you were interviewing, I was getting all the angles of the truck that I could, and it's definitely an eye-catching paint job.
Yeah, that's one thing about Bruce. The tail TV end of his vehicles always have either a pretty girl or a big gun. So it's a man's truck, or in this case truck, but it could be a car. But Bruce and I worked together on Wednesday nights doing the NXS Super Speedway series over at ECT. I know ECT's got a pretty full schedule, as does BSR. I don't know BSR's schedule as well. I do know that on Monday night over at ECT, we do the Aero series. On Tuesday night is the Smokes SS trucks. On Wednesday, as I spoke about, the NXS series. We do not race on Thursday or Friday currently, but I hear Friday's about to change. On Sunday, we have the Super Speedway, or Super Truck Series. That's kind of, they race all the different kind of trucks. Now I know over at BSR on Thursday night, we run the Gen 6 mod. On Friday night is the NXS 15 mod series, and then on Saturday night, one of the longest running series, continuous series. I think I don't know which one is longer, but if it isn't the longest, it's the second longest, and that would be BSR's Team Series on Saturday. And the only thing, like I said, that may be as long or close would be Monday night's series at ECT, the Aero series, which I admin with help from Bama. So there's a lot of great racing here pretty much every night of the week, Monday through Sunday. So come on out and visit ECT or BSR and come run what you brung and see if you got your big boy panties on.
Absolutely. BSR also on Wednesday nights, that's their truck series. They run the default trucks, actually the CWS old school 1995 Project Wildfire trucks. And then on off weeks, all of the trucks, the Nationwide and the Cup at BSR, they all follow the real life schedule. And so obviously the trucks don't run every week like the Cup cars do. And on the off weeks, they actually run a road rage series. They go out with the trucks and same trucks and run road courses. And the regular truck series, by the way, is sponsored by Hello Sunshine Hello currently. And Friday nights is sponsored by WLS Graphics. Thursday night, obviously the Cup Series, as well as Saturday night the Team Series, both sponsored by Drunken Cow Jerky.
Which I hear is some of the best beef jerky in town. I haven't got a sample yet. Hint, 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 guys. I'll give you my address when we're off air, but still, I keep hearing how great it is, and I want to try it. But I live in Kansas, and that's far away from Arkansas. Actually, it's not that far. But the point being, hint, hint, I've never tried it, guys. So how can I talk about it? As we're getting ready to finish up lap 50, the 17 Lucky Charms truck of ECT Red Chevy still in the lead, as things have really calmed down now, as pretty much everybody is running nose to tail in that lead thing. Well, actually, I take that back. Looks like the first 10 are running together. And then you've got trucks going like Donnie Garrett that going to the low side and the high side to try to see what there is to see. But it has pretty much calmed down compared to the carnage and craziness of the first 30 laps, which is good to see. We've got about, looks like almost 10 laps now under, and then so in about another 7 or 8, if you're not damaged, you're going to start seeing trucks come in. And I'm really holding my fingers, because if you want to see some poetry in motion, you watch some of these guys pit. Guys like Chuck, Red Chevy in the front, is an excellent pitter. John Forgione is a dang good pitter. Pockets is an excellent pitter also. So you want to watch some poetry in motion, and that's kind of what I'm up in the booth waiting for, is I'm waiting for some green flag pit stops and just watch the way these guys roll.
And it looks like we have lost a few other cars. We've lost BSR Chris V. His motor took a crap. We've lost ECT B Elisor. So right now we're down to there's 22 cars in the lead pack. Looks like 23 cars perhaps still in this race, as we are quickly closing in on green flag pit stops, as well as the halfway point of this race. In fact, here in 4 laps we'll be halfway.
Yeah, and that's kind of the effect of super speedway racing, Mark, is if you get the right amount of damage, even though it can be a moderate damage race, if you get just a little bit too much damage, and some people are forgetting that it's a points race, or their truck, but I've seen a lot of people retired. We had like 7 or 8 retirements, which usually is a sign that they feel like they're too damaged to continue. Now me, I'm kind of a pig-headed German. I know that's hard to believe, but I'll run damaged even when there wasn't points. But now that if I get to race in a race, which I will definitely be running in October at the Halloween, because that's a race I can't miss. I've only missed one, and that was when I broke my spine. I just got out of the hospital and I didn't get signed up. So ever since I started racing at ECT, which was at Halloween 6, where I ran the 666 Katie's Pumpkin Patch car, from then on, I've only missed the one Halloween 500, and that was because I broke my spine and I was kind of laying in bed. Probably couldn't have raced anyways, but I tried. So that's an important race. That's maybe the only time in this series that you see me in the truck. And like I said, I'll gladly do some in-truck reporting. I'm obviously a person who feels like he can do both. That's what they say during the week races. Why do you talk so much? I'm like, because I'm good at it.
And here we go. We are pretty much at the halfway point of this race. We do, as always, have a veteran salute planned for you, but we're going to hold off. We're going to run it a little late tonight. We're going to hold off and hopefully see some green flag pit stops, and then we'll get to our veteran salute.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I love that we do that and our prayer and everything. It's good. It's a good home style Kansas approved race thing. That's one of the things I do like about this, Mark. You set up a good system here and a good program, and like I said, it just kind of fits right in with these Midwestern values, which, though there's not a lot of drivers here from the Midwest, right here we've got a lot of Southeast and East Coast drivers, but we've got some drivers from Cali and one or two from Kansas, and of course at least a couple from the great Northwest. One didn't make it, but Fredo made the race tonight, and he is like a stalwart. I think we talked about it the other night. He's 80 already, and right now he's on the lead lap, just going ahead. He's 1 point. He's barely a second out of the lead, and he's just doing as best he can. He's just drafting along, making laps. A smart man, but 80 years old and in the top 20 on the lead lap, within a second of the leader. To me, that's not only some skill but some dedication there.
And we see 4 of these BSR cars now have gotten lined up in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and now they've got the front 2 of Chuck McClure and John Forgione set in their sights. Will they make a move, or are they just getting lined up and ready to pit together?
At this point where we're at, which is, like I said, we should be thinking about pitting, and I'm seeing people's chat boxes light up, which means they're probably making, telling people that they're getting ready to pit, or etc. And I don't know if those the BSR drivers aren't. It's hard to believe that they're pitting because they're cutting down underneath the. I don't know. Now they've fallen in line, so I would say they're getting ready to pit here, if not this lap, in the next lap or so. I say that because of the increased chatter, and as I say that, the leader, Chuck McClure, goes in there. He's on the brakes. He locks them up straight as we had a truck go flying through the grass, but he didn't spin out. But that's probably going to cost him, as the 17 of Red Chevy and the 95 of John Forgione come into pit road, and I'm almost going to bet you, even though he's not, I didn't see him in the group, Pockets is there, but I also bet you Mike Scott's there, because when Chuck pits, Mike's usually pretty close. I see Bruce Phelan pitting, a lot of trucks pitting here, and they're taking 4 tires, 2 cans of Sunoco fuel, and we're just sitting here and watch ECT Red Chevy, and off he goes. He was in the lead when he pitted. Of course, he comes off in 7th place. That's still not bad. So that means there's probably 6 trucks that chose not to pit that were on the lead lap, and there they go back onto the racing surface there in turn 1, 2, and make their way down the backstretch. The 17 Lucky Charms now works his way up a little higher. It looks like we had a truck run wild there coming off. Sometimes they'll spin.
It looks like ECTQ has run out of fuel on the backstretch.
That happens once in a while. Hopefully we're a pretty friendly group, so he'll probably get somebody that hasn't pitted to give him a boost. If not, he's going to have to take that long tow truck ride, as ECT Red Chevy's going to retain his position as the leader as everybody goes in. It looks like it's going to be at the line, ECT Red Chevy, ECT Diesel, F Diesel 95, and then after him, will be I'm going the wrong way. How about that? Red Chevy, F Diesel, and Pockets are the first 3 cars. But then I see Mike Scott and 201 of BSR Texan or Killer kind of lined up. So it looks like you're going to have 5 or 6 trucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a group of 3 and a group of 2, and then you got a group of 3 that aren't really forming up. And that group has got Donnie Garrett in it. And but now the 066 of it was, like I said, it was supposed to be Carson Krenz is driving that. I'll remember that eventually. Sorry, Carson, but Carson is driving for BSR. Axel Foley, I guess he's making another Beverly Hills Cop movie. I wonder how many times he hears that reference, because I don't think he's old enough to know what it means.
And it looks like we're going to have an 8-car breakaway lead pack. You got to go back 3.5 seconds to get to the next 5-car pack. But anyways, now that we've gotten through these green flag pit stops, we're past the halfway point. We're going to go ahead and run this veteran salute. Somebody we didn't get to talk to tonight, ECT Pete Sindone. Pete is he's been having some family troubles. He's got some problems with man's best friend, one of his dogs, and obviously I don't know anybody who doesn't like dogs. I like dogs. I have a dog. I've lost dogs before. We all like dogs, and so we all can appreciate the tough time that Pete is going through. We wish him and his dog the best of luck. And so tonight our veteran salute is actually honoring the furry veterans, the military or not military, the military working dogs. And to all of the other veterans out there, we still appreciate and support you. And so here is our veteran salute. We're going to drink a cold beer to this, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. And we are back under caution, caution number 5 of the night, lap number 67. We see cars heading down pit road, making their pit stops. That was our veteran salute. As always, we thank all of the veterans out there, especially the furry kind.
Looks like it's going to be the same as it was before, so to speak, to use a Kinks term. I think it was the Kinks, yeah. Same as it was before. Same as it was before. Anyways, 17 Lucky Charms Chevy of red Chevy, which just incredibly happens to be red, is the leader, but we do have a new second place car. Gone is John Forgione. You're not currently... It would be BSR Texan or Killer, but working up some trucks stayed out on the lead lap, and in 5th place is number 33 of Fredo, kind of like a teammate of mine, sort of. And 4th is BSR RJ Rusty, and he's a lap down. I'm sorry, we got a lot of lap down cars. Larry Yeager Jr. from BSR is sitting in 3rd. BSR Bubba, again, by not pitting, in 2nd. And BSR Scar, the 83 right now, currently in the lead, but I expect those guys to jump off and take a pit. I got a chance while we were doing our veterans salute to grab Bruce Phelan in the hallway, because it said to check what happened, and I guess he was telling me he went to pit and just about ready to pit, and he got booted, and that's why you seen him going down the backstretch. So he got booted as he tried to make it around another time to get fuel. He ran out of fuel, and so he ended up having to call it a night. Tow truck wouldn't come get him, so unfortunately that's what happened to the 13. But incredible Timbo there, and Fredo from ECT in the top 5. Scar and the group from BSR, Scar and Bubba, they also, like I said, they pitted. So those top 5 and the people that are lapped down, like Steven and stuff, they pitted, and now they're back. And I'm pretty sure when I get there, yeah, the leader is red Chevy again. But like I said, then we have Killa, and then is John Forgione, Mike Scott, BSR Pockets, and I believe the 77. Oh no, Mike Scott. They're whatever. Oh, I went the wrong way to me. Pockets, Donnie Garrett, and then BSR Momo make up the top. What we call the Lucky 7, followed by Carson Krenz and well, I thought I had the top 10, but evidently, Greg Spoiler, he's hanging tough in the his Ford pickup. So, and I can't find. There's number 10 is Bama. Good recovery there. He's in our top 10. Remember, he was the first caution, and in the second caution, somebody used him for ARCA brakes, and he's still alive and kicking. That's the advantage of moderate damage, is they're more apt to fix it, and as long as you didn't like totally trash your motor, you got a halfway decent chance of surviving.
Alright, so we are here on lap number 69. We didn't catch what caused the caution, obviously, but we were in the middle of our veteran salute, and well, that's all right. You guys, you guys can tell from looking at the scoreboard and the race attrition who may or may not have been involved. It does look like Lee Helmer and Timbo were the lucky dogs under that caution, and plus we had just finished green flag pit stops. We had an 8-car breakaway. This caution is not only going to give us 21 cars back on the lead lap, but it's also going to tighten them all up. So we have 53 laps to go, 43 laps to go. Drivers will need to pit at least one more time here in this race. And we see the 002 actually lined up at the front of the field. It looks like that's BSR SR5. We saw during those green flag pit stops, he had a black flag, had to come back down, and it looks like he's going to try to. I don't know if he's going to take a wave around here or if he's going to restart on the tail end.
No, he's actually the lucky dog.
We already had the lucky dogs. Lee Helmer and Timbo already went around. Or Lee Helmer definitely went around. He stayed out.
Yeah, I thought he stayed out. Maybe I missed it, but Timbo wasn't a lap down.
Timbo is a lap down. He's in 22nd place, one lap down.
Okay, then he must have lost it. Just lost it. But I had heard on admin control that the 002 of SR5, BSR SR5, was the lucky dog, which is why he would be right up there off the back end of the pace truck.
All right, so a little confusion on our timing and scoring here. Lights are still out on the pace truck. This has been a very long caution.
I think the 11 is actually going for the wave around. He's in the lucky. Looks like he's in a Lucky Charms Chevy also, but his is number 11, and he's up there. And since you were saying he's a lap down, which I missed, then he's going for the wave around because you're correct. They show him. Bada boom, bada bing. What do they show the 11 truck?
And I'm actually being told from pit road, this caution is out for a blown motor on the 88 truck, ECT Juggalo.
That's bad news to hear. That's weird that I'm not getting my normal report here that would tell me what I need to know. But Timbo is a lap down. But yeah, okay, I was correct. Lee Helmer is one lap down. He's taking what they call the wave around. And SR5 is the lucky dog because he's in the lead. So he got the opportunity to pit, fix any damage, change tires and fuel. Where in the case of Lee Dog or Lee Helmer there, as a wave around, he wasn't allowed to pit. So he's stuck with whatever gas he has left in his tank and the tires. Now, luckily, they hadn't went a super long time, but they had went about half a tank. So if we have another good green flag run like we did last time, that's going to put him at a little bit of a disadvantage because he's going to be forced to pit when his fuel tank gets empty. And if we don't have a caution between now and then, he's going to end up going a lap down again.
And here we go. The lights are finally out on this pace car Chevy as we were trying to get the lucky dog and wave around sorted out. We do have 21 trucks on the lead field. Chuck McClure is your race leader, has been for most of the night. BSR Texan in that 201 truck is second place. He will be restarting on the inside as Chuck has chosen the outside.
And I think a lot of that has to do with who's behind who, because if you look, even though John Forgione is in third and fourth place is Chuck's partner in crime, Mike Scott, in fourth. So the two of them will automatically be lined up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the four trucks try to line up and go single file and get the heck away from everybody else. As the green flag drops, they're getting ready. They're coming up to... There we go. The green flag has dropped. There they go. They take the green flag, and the 17 gets the jump, and behind him will be Texan. So I'm a little surprised, but looks like John Forgione is on the bottom there, and on the top side is Mike Scott, and looks like a couple BSR drivers got between Mike Scott and John Forgione. Now I don't know if he let him do that for a fuel saving reason or if they just kind of bullied their way in there. I was unable to watch, but right now it looks like Forgione is going to make a move on the high side around Chuck McClure, and he does the power move with the help. The high side, obviously the high side is the best side. Now Pockets drops down in front of Chuck McClure on the bottom, but Chuck moves up high, and whoa, slight contact between the 17 and the 46, but everybody keeps going forward. So it looks like BSR now lining up on the bottom side, but ECT on the top side going high, wide, and handsome. With the exception, though, looks like we've got one BSR truck up there in the middle of that, and that would be Momo. The 051 of Momo, BSR Momo, is up there between John Forgione and Chuck McClure right now, and then after that, it's followed by ECT Mike Scott and Donnie Garrett.
And we are 40 laps to go now. These trucks are pretty much in the window where they can make it from on one stop from here. So we'll see if any cautions come into play and how pit strategy works out in the end. But right now, John Forgione out there leading this race. Different, little different. We've seen that 17 of Chuck lead a lot of this race, most of it, but perhaps word has trickled down to the race lobby that Pony Express made an executive decision and these bonus points count. So now you see John Forgione out there getting his bonus point.
John's a good hard racer, and he can lead the points. I think he doesn't care so much about bonus points as much as winning points. And when it comes to the end, John's got a very good chance of winning. As looks like BSR now is going to cut to the inside of John Forgione. They've got 4 trucks: Momo, Pockets, and
Texan
a couple other.
and Bubba.
Okay, Texan and Bubba. So those 4 with a little help from some friends. And on the outside, you got Forgione and Chuck McClure and Mike Scott. And right now, it's kind of battle of BSR versus ECT for the lead. And at least currently on the bottom, BSR has the lead. And we spoke pretty much all night about the fact that the bottom is the short way and the fast way around the track. But it seems like they're getting a few extra people on the high side, and that's what it takes as Donnie Garrett gets in there, and ECT is 4 wide, high and tight, but looks like BSR's using a little strategery there and doing a little side drafting, and that's keeping ECT behind, even though it looks like John Forgione has got about a half a truck. He's got the lead, but he's not gonna move until he gets all the ECT brothers with him. So right now it's just a battle of the leagues, who's gonna be the strongest and who's gonna line up the deepest. And right now it's 3, 4, at least 5 BSR drivers on the bottom. Can't quite tell who the other 2 are in between, but then you've got Carson Krenz up there high with Nature Boy following them. And then you got some BSR guys behind them. It's quite a motley crew if you look at it, which is exactly what this sim racing is about, is having fun and challenging each other. So we've got, you were talking about if we can go caution free. Mark, almost all races, no matter what their level, whether they're on TV or not, always seems to have a long period where they get in 1 or 2 green flag laps. And I have a funny feeling we may be entering that time where these guys here are getting serious. And I would be surprised if there's a caution. It's going to be a nasty, ugly wreck that's brought the caution out, because right now it's winning time for these drivers. We got like 16 drivers that are bam, bam, boom.
Yeah, 21 cars within 1.2 seconds. You could put a blanket all over these 21 cars. And then we do have one driver, a lap down, ECT Timbo. He would obviously be the lucky dog should we see another caution in this race.
Exactly. And it looks like now at least all four of the ECT drivers had cleared the pack of BSR drivers. And so right now it's pretty much single file for the first 8 trucks. But now it looks like Momo and some of the BSR drivers are deciding maybe the highway is the right way. And now they're giving ECT the bottom, and they're trying the high side and see if they can get enough people behind them. Looks like it's Pockets and Momo there on the high side, and they're making up some time. They've almost passed. They're almost even with the Nature Boy Donnie Garrett, but coming off the corner, the bottom being the faster one has the advantage. But as they make their way down the backstretch, Momo has almost passed, not cleared, but passed Donnie Garrett. Now he does, and now he's there, and Mike Scott moves down a little bit so that he can't be side drafted. So right now it looks like it's going to be a fight to the death, ECT, BSR. So not only is this for championship points, I think we got, if I was going to guess, I'd say we have a little bit of a league pride battle going here also.
Well, one thing I haven't mentioned tonight, obviously we see all of the green out there. This is the Pot of Gold 300. Tons of green, 4-leaf clovers, horseshoes. The real question is, whose side is, who's really going to have the luck or the Irish tonight? My pick is the 41 of ECT Spoiler. He's still in this thing. He's right there, riding right around 10th place. You got Rhoda from Hello Sunshine Hello, who chose BSR Pockets. He's out there in the top 5, top 7. And then Bandit, who's your pick?
I picked Chuck. I picked Red Chevy, which is probably why he's fallen back to 2nd or 3rd place by now. He'll probably kick my butt for picking him.
But yeah, it's you know, when every car is painted for St. Patrick's Day, it's hard. It's going to be a hard one to call who will actually have the luck of the Irish tonight.
And it also makes it a little bit harder because everybody's not in their normal pickups. I mean, if this was a regular Tuesday night or what night is? Did you say Wednesday night is BSR trucks? If this was a regular truck race, you could look at the paint schemes and pretty much get them right. But everybody's got tonight their special Luck of the Irish Pot of Gold paint schemes. The question is, who's gonna? Is it going to be one of the people that we picked, or is it going to be somebody different that's going to go ahead and get that pot of gold? I don't know about you, but last weekend I watched the whole Leprechaun set of movies, and I don't want his gold, okay? If it means I got to die, I'll go without the gold.
Well, we do have, we don't have much gold to give away tonight, but we do have $50 to the winner, $30 to 2nd place, $20 to 3rd place, and then like we announced earlier, the PEBN TV Championship. There are going to be some prizes for that after the Polar Bear 500 coming from as many of the associated sponsors to these leagues as we can give. So these guys, they're not just racing for the cash tonight, but they're racing for some jerky and some other prizes at the end of the year.
Oh, wow. As we go through Lucky Lap 84 there for a minute, BSR had made a move on the inside with the help of Greg Trogdon, but now Greg Trogdon got knocked into the middle as they were actually looking 4 wide. Everything is kind of going crazy. Nobody's kind of really working with okay, now it all shakes out, and no big surprise. John Forgione, Chuck McClure, and Mike Scott working together on the high side, and underneath them, of course, are Pockets and Momo, and you said Bubba from BSR on the bottom side working together. So, and then now Greg Spoiler, Oh my gosh, Greg Trogdon has moved up. Spoiler is what we call him, because he can spoil anything. He's moved up to the high side with the ECT group, and they've got Donnie Garrett behind him for a solid 5. And then behind them is Carson Krenz. So you've got like 6 people hard and tight on the outside, and then you've got 5 ECT members and Bama or 5 BSR members and Bama on the bottom making a move there. And right now, it's obviously there is no clear-cut winner here as we work our way through lap 86, as John Forgione holds a half a truck lead as they work their way down the stretch back.
Lost my train of thought there for a little while. It looks like now we've actually lost ECT Lee Helmer. He is retired, so that puts us down to 20 trucks on the lead lap. Timbo the only truck a lap down, and we have 27 laps to go.
Gonna be exciting, that's for sure. The question is, what line is going to prevail? Normally on a track like this, the bottom line has the advantage, but it's a TR track, so it is kind of set up so that the top line has a fair chance of winning the race as the bottom lane does. But what I think the problem is, well, nope, just as I said that, it stopped. I was going to say BSR was starting to roll up on the bottom side and get into formation, but actually BSR has chosen, a lot of them have chosen to ride the high side, but right now the 3 ECT drivers, the leaders, John Forgione, Mike Scott, and Chuck McClure, they moved down and blocked and picked up those BSR drivers as help for drafting, helped them go fast, make it harder for the top side to catch them. And then behind them, Donnie Garrett and Greg Trogdon make up basically the top 7 drivers, the lucky 7, I guess you could call them.
Oh, don't fight it. That's gonna stick. Everybody's gonna start calling him Greg Spoiler now.
Yeah, but so will I, and I'll be like, hey, Greg Spoiler.
And here we go, green flag pit stops. Donnie Garrett, the 201 of Texan. I think Pockets is in there. A big handful of BSR guys as well as Donnie Garrett. Uh-oh, the 343 gets spun on pit road.
Ouch, that's gotta hurt. I'm watching here now, and 3 of the 4 leaders of the pack are instructors almost, I'd say, at the Mike Scott Institute of Fuel Saving, as I call it, and that would be John Forgione, Chuck McClure, and Mike Scott. And right now, I hate to go as far to say, are they going to stay together and what's going to happen? But they've got to pit. And here we go. Oh, big round. Oh, no, there goes my man. Oh, ugly. Somebody lost control. Carson Krenz. I don't know if he lost control or got hit into, but he sent Red Chevy into the grass, and the yellow flag is out. Pit road is closed, but all those that went down will not be able to pit. If they pit, they're going to get a black flag, but they're out of gas, so they have no choice. So they're going to be starting at the back end of the field as I see John Forgione and Mike Scott go ahead and pit. But I'm still not seeing Chuck. I don't know if he had enough fuel to make it, but here comes Josh Metallic, and then Mike Scott and John Forgione are coming off pit road. I'm assuming they probably got end of longest line penalties. But I'm looking to see what happened to Chuck.
23 laps to go. We're under caution for the 6th time tonight. We're going to head to the caution rewind screen, see what happened to the 066 Axel Foley truck there.
Yeah, it looked like he took a shot, because next thing I know, he's that was a little extra static there. But next thing I know, 066 is going backwards, and he hit the 17 of Chuck McClure and send him into the grass. But Chuck hasn't retired, and I can't see if he's got a penalty right now or where exactly he's at. That's really weird. But anyways, I'm gonna wait, and hopefully you've got the rewind there, and you can tell me who the heck hit the 066 and spun him out as they were going into pit road.
Oh, and there we go. It looks like the 002, he was the first car to make his stop. He actually was so he wasn't pitting there, and some cars in front of him were pitting, and so the 002 went high and somehow got into the back of the 066. And that sent the 066 just flying into the back of Chuck McClure's truck there.
And I see that he's pitting really late here in this yellow. So, like I said, more than likely he got a 15 to 30 second penalty for, even though he got knocked in the grass. It's just one of the things about this game that you can't get around. If somebody else knocks you into the grass, you suffer the penalty. And I see he's leaving now pit road, and we'll give it a second here and see where he ends up at.
And so it looks like we lost, well, we already lost Lee Helmer. It looks like Poor Boy has gone a lap down. Fredo has gone a lap down. It's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. We're going to restart with about 20 laps to go, though, so I expect everybody to top off and be good to the finish.
Yeah, the question is who ended up being penalized by being forced to pit on that when the pits got shut down because of that caution. I see Chuck in the very back of the pack, way back in 16th place. And he's back there with Greg and Roger Blevins, or Poor Boy. But there's a couple people moving up, so that's going to move him up to maybe 14. But that's a big kick in the pants for him, because he had, in my opinion, I figured either he was going to win the race, or there at the end he was going to push John to the win. But something told me don't say too much more till after they pit. And sure as you know what's brown and stinks, somebody got crazy on the pits. I don't know if they locked up their brakes, and that's how they knocked that's SR5, is it not, the 002 that knocked the Carson into Red Chevy?
That's how it appeared, absolutely. We see Josh Metallic now your race leader, first time tonight. That's going to be a bonus point for him in the PEBN TV Championship. And we also see, looks like the 33, Fredo, up there. He's going to be one of your lucky dogs under that caution. Bandit, do you think perhaps you could get us a word with Chuck McClure and see how he plans to recover from this?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get him down. All right, I got Chuck. Hey, Chuck, this Rob and Mark up here at the in the booth, man. How are you doing?
Well, I was doing pretty good until I just got run over going in the pits there. I don't know who did it, but we are where we are now.
Yeah, you were my pick, so that might have been part of the problem. The way I picked you on lap like 10 before you'd already led like so many laps. Yeah, we were kind of watching that, and I told Mark offline, I said, if he makes it through this pit stop, he's golden. And unfortunately, we kind of seen what happened. So you haven't seen the replay yet, but basically, from what we could tell, it looked like the 002 of BSR SR5 hit and spun Carson Krenz, and then Krenz backed into you and knocked you into the grass, and then you guys were probably in trouble because of the fact that the pits were closed. Did you have enough gas to make it around, or did you have to pit and take a black flag?
I got a shove from Spoiler, believe it or not. That was pretty nice of him to do that, but I appreciate it. I'll have to return the favor one of these days.
Exactly. You know what? Are you gonna end up in position 2? It looks like now behind. Anyways, we thought real quick we'd ask you what happened, kind of tell you the way we seen it, and then give you an opportunity to shout out to family, friends, and stuff like that. So go ahead.
I appreciate that, Robbie, and make it real quick here since we're on the back stretch. The lights are out, but I appreciate Q making all these trucks look good. Guys come over from BSR, and a couple guys from RTG here. It's really good to see them too.
All right, Chuck. Good luck. You're in position 2. We'll see how it ends. If you want, I won't make you my favorite anymore. We'll get you back up to your truck.
I would appreciate that, Robbie. Thanks.
All right, so while he does that, we've got BSR RJ Rusty, the 102 truck, leading this race for the first time tonight. He's the owner of the Medicine Chest up there in the White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Big sponsor. He's the one who puts on the Polar Bear 500 at the end of the year in December, and that will be the final race in the 2017 PEBN TV Championship. We see Chuck McClure, despite getting hit there, he is going to restart in P2, and then you got Josh Metallic and BSR Texan restarting on the second row. The caution lights are out. The truck is going to head down pit road. We're going to restart this race with exactly 20 laps to go. We'll see if everybody has enough fuel in these trucks.
It's going to definitely be interesting, Mark, because I'm looking there at the high side, and we've got Chuck McClure getting ready to take the green flag. We got a BSR driver up there, and then you get John Forgione and Mike Scott and other drivers. So it's going to be quite interesting as Rusty got a shot there from Josh Metallic, and Chuck's getting a little bit of help right now. The question is, from looks like, is that Texan? Is that Killa?
Yeah, that's Killa.
Killa up there at the top, and then he's got Diesel with him, and Pockets looks like he just kind of moved somebody out, and him and Donnie Garrett go to the high side. So at least for right now, the high side is the right side. But that was Fredo that got moved, and I'm looking to see where Mike Scott ended up. He must have gotten something happened to him because he's fallen back a little bit. So right now, Chuck has retaken the lead, but there we go on the bottom. BSR is going to go ahead and form up, and without any help, Chuck's going to be a sitting duck. But right now, Pockets is on the bottom, Texan on the top, and the question is, where's Texan going to go? Is he going to slide down behind Pockets and help the rest of the BSR drivers, or is he going to stay behind Chuck and ride that pony to a good second place finish, which would be a good points finish?
And here we are, new driver in the top 5. Here comes the 65 truck, BSR Hot Rod. He's been riding in the back, keeping it clean all night, and now it's time to go with 20 to go, as we have looks like 6 BSR trucks lined up on the low line. Mike Scott jumps in there now to separate them.
Exactly, and that's what I expected to see, because these teams will work together. As you see some side drafting there from Pockets against Chuck McClure as they go in the corner, and that slows him down and sends him up the hill at the same time. But now with the top side, they would have the advantage, but Pockets, an experienced sim racer, is pretty good at side drafting, and he tried to side draft but didn't work so well, as ECT drivers on the high side got a little bit of an advantage. But as we go into 3 and 4, of course, that gives the bottom line of damage the advantage, which is the give and take of what happens here. So what's going to happen the best is what happens here on the front stretch and on the back stretch, where they can make up some time, as BSR. Oh, we got a blown motor back in the field. Question is, will they be able to get off the track quick enough to avoid bringing out a yellow? Right now, Pocket's in the lead, or Pocket's pushing Texan, and right now, Topside's got a little bit of advantage. Chuck McClure's got advantage as Killa goes ahead and side drafts with some help from Pockets, and Chuck with help from John Forgione and Donnie Garrett is on the high side, kind of loses it they're going into the tri-oval now, and we got contact as we got some trucks pushing each other, and we got a truck that went flying into the infield grass. I don't know if you caught who that was by chance, Mark.
I did not. I saw it looked like the 00 was partially involved in that. It looked like he was able to continue on though, so I'm not sure which truck spun.
Well, it looks like the caution is out, but it looked like the 2 was one of the trucks that was involved there. We had a blown motor, and then I don't know if everybody was going for goat there to try to get to the first one to the checkered flag, but expected checkered flag. But then somebody gave somebody a little help, and he must have came back up, because if he went strictly on the infield, it wouldn't have brought out a caution. But then again, it could have been that blown motor, because sometimes it happens late. Looks like the 2 truck is saying that whoever he got into contact with there had checked up real big, and there was no way he thought he could avoid him. But that's going to be a little more damage, as right now it's going to be quite interesting who's going to go in and pit and tape up, as you've got looks like ECT says, well, see you guys later, we're going to go ahead and get some tape.
Oh wow,
So,
Chuck McClure pits from P3. He's gonna go put some tape on that thing. It looks like you're gonna have 3 BSR guys restarting in the front though. We're probably gonna restart with about 12-13 laps to go. I'm gonna let Bandit keep an eye on this. I'm gonna take it over to the caution rewind screen and see if we can't see who the 2 car got into there.
alrighty, well, like you said, it's going to be odd. Obviously, the BSR drivers are going to have to split top and bottom, which means they've got the front row closed down, and also and they'll have the bottom, so they'll have 2 rows on the bottom and 1 on the top covered. Donnie Garrett, it looks like, will sit in second place. John Forgione and Bama are back behind them, but neither of those 2 guys decided to take tape, and I think Chuck thought that he was going to have some people maybe come down with him, and then with that tape and a little help from your friends, as the old Joe Cocker song goes, he probably would have had a pretty good chance at making that up. I don't want to call him up to the top now, because I imagine that he's unhappy the fact that he's got no help, and he's at basically the back of the field other than the lap down cars. So were you able to pull something up on that replay machine?
Yeah, we're looking at this right now. A lot of interesting things were going on here. We can't get another angle of this. So it looks like the checkup happened up front. It looks like Chuck McClure actually pushed Pockets almost all the way down into the grass, which caused everybody to check up. I'm still trying to see who the 2 got into the back of. We have to get another angle here.
Well, but if he sent if 2 got into a truck and sent it to the inside, Mark, I wonder if it wasn't the blown motor that maybe brought out the caution.
Oh, here we go. It looks like it was actually, like we said, the 17 was pushing the 38 down into the grass, caused everybody to check up, and it looks like the 41, Greg Spoiler, actually got into the back of Bama, not quite able to check up quick enough there.
So spoiler got into it with Bama. Okay, I didn't. Like I said, I couldn't tell. All I can tell for sure is it looks like uh, nobody else is nobody else is gonna pit. So that means Chuck is gonna be way back. Probably what in 10th place or less. Let me see what I can get, if I can pull a number. Like I said, Donnie Garrett is in 4th, but the first 3 drivers are BSR drivers. And then spoiler did recover to, he's going to restart 9th. Beezer in the 00 will be 10th. Chuck McClure will be in 11th place. And he's got RJ Rusty and Bubba back there. And it looks like I see Mike Scott. Yeah, Mike Scott's back there in 14th place, all on the lead lap. So Chuck's got some push and help, including Roger Blevins. So it's going to be a little bit interesting. This is going to be the last wave around / lucky dog of the night, because as a general rule of thumb, most leagues do not allow lucky dogs and wave arounds with less than 10 to go. And it looks like, oh, we got some thunder boomers here, guys. It looks like the 002 of BSR SR5 is going to take the lucky dog this time. And I don't see any wave arounds because of who's up front, but we'll take a look here as they make their way. The lights are still on the truck because these are slow laps. But looks like SR5 is going to be the lucky dog. I don't see any wave arounds. Ooh. So this is going to be, like I said, we're going to go green with 14 laps. So more than likely, unless we get a quick caution, this will be the last caution. As they cross, the lights stay on. Okay, so we got one more lap yet, Mark.
Yeah, taking a look at this, I believe once SR5 comes around on this lucky dog and gets his lap back, that's going to give us 19 trucks on the lead lap. It looks like we're probably going to have a 12-lap shootout as the lights are still on, so we got to go at least 2 more laps here.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting. It's crazy how many laps we're going to have, but like I said, it's going to be quite a fight, because they will play together, but at the same time, these guys want to win. So there's a lot of team pride on both teams. The question is, whose team is going to have not just the pride, but the fortitude to be able to suck it up, so to speak, and hold off everybody. And, you know, it's kind of right now split. We've got both BSR and ECT drivers in both lanes. I don't know which way ECT or BSR is going to go once the green flag starts, but with Pockets and Killa on the front row, they may or may not hook up together, at least not at the start, as we hit lap 100 of 113. So pretty much guaranteeing that this will be the last caution that has a lucky dog or a wave around person, is what we're seeing right now.
And we've got a late submitted viewer pick. It looks like Bloodhound Ghost Motorsports is picking BSR Pockets to win. So several fans out there pulling for Pockets. We'll see if he's able to get it done. He's got a lot of teammates out there, but his teammates want to win just as bad as he does. So we'll see what happens. I still stand by my pick of the 41 of ECT Spoiler. I think he can still get up there and get it done. He's riding around in P9, and 11, 12 laps to go. Anybody could still win this thing.
Yeah, as long as they're in the race, they technically got a chance. As the lucky dog makes his way around as the lights go out, that means one more lap, lap 102, we will go green. So 11 laps, they'll complete one lap, and after the completion of that lap, no more lucky dogs and no more wave arounds. But I've got to say, even though people have got, Chuck we thought was doomed last time, and he ended up starting off in second place. But then, once you get that close in the race, people start getting the elbows out, and the old wide track Pontiacs come out, and no matter what mod we're running or whatever. And for those of you that aren't old enough to know what a wide track Pontiac is, look it up. But anyways, we're gonna get a lot of that. I expect if an ECT driver makes his way up to the BSR drivers, or vice versa, there's going to be a lot of elbows and wide hips and you name it, because nobody wants to lose a position that they've went 100 laps to get. So I can't wait to see what happens here as SR5 makes his way up to the back of the field. He's like I said, more than likely our last lucky dog. We had no wave rounds this time, so it's going to be pretty crazy as he pulls up.
And here we go, the Chevy Silverado pace truck heads down pit road. The 201 BSR Texan is your race leader. He will be restarting on the inside, pockets on the outside. And we're going to be taking the green flag here, 11 laps to go.
It's going to be interesting start as the pace car goes. There we go, everybody under green power now. Looks like Texan is going to pull up in front of Pockets. No, he sticks on the bottom. Pockets sticks up high with Donnie Garrett on the bottom. Looks like we've got the 95 of John Forgione down there with Bama next to him, and Carson Krenz and company behind him. As you can hear the thunder roll behind the racetrack right now. The racetrack is good. I think we're going to get this race in before we get any problems. I expect we're going to be able to finish this lap now. After we finish this lap, it will be no more lucky dogs and no more wave rounds, as Chuck McClure is getting some help from his friends, as they say. In this case, Ben Beezer, the 00, pulling the 17. The 17 is looking low. Puts it in there 3 wide, goes inside Bees. Oh my gosh, he gets hit and spins. Beezer's around backwards, back end up, but he goes down. Oh my gosh, that's a heck of a wreck. And that's the end of 17. If he end up on his back and on his roof, Mark, you better start rerunning that one, because that's going to be a big one. It looks like Chuck McClure moved to the inside, and he was inside of Beezer, and then it was like a pincher move. He got pinched and spun around, and there were trucks flying anywhere. Beezer got backwards, and he raised up off the back of the tarmac, but he did not wreck per se. I mean, I'm sure he split some tires, but body-wise, maybe a little bent fender. But anyways, so no more lucky dogs is my understanding, but I'll be keeping an ear open to hear for sure. So, did you get to the replay yet, Mark?
Yeah, we're working on it right now, going back to see what happened to the 17 and a bunch of other trucks there. Still 9 laps to go, though, under this caution, so we are still going to go back to green flag racing. Plenty of time.
Oh, no doubt we'll go back to green flag racing, but I'm just saying, from the looks of it, 8 to 10 trucks just lost their... Well, Beezer is under power and pulling high-speed laps. Chuck McClure also back under power. Doesn't look like he's too beat up. Sends a little message to the truck in front of him. We all know what that message means. And I'm sure if he pulls up beside him, he'll have another message. But
now this one's going to be a hard one to swallow, because so many trucks were involved in it. But I'm looking at it, and that was clearly net code. It netcode caused the 65 to invisibly touch the 17 there. I don't see them touch. So it had to been, but you can see the contact on the 17 appears to come from the left side. So it's got to be some type of netcode there that brought this one out.
Well, from what I seen as they were making their way, I think that the 17 thinks he has a pretty good idea who he thinks might have given him some help. But you're saying it might have been what we would call
on my replay. There's no contact, so I say it's netcode, but I don't see the 65 actually touch the 17.
I don't think it's not the 65 that the 17 is blaming.
Well, let's see if we can get another. Let's go to the helicopter. The helicopter's always a good picture.
Yeah, if you look, he went up underneath the 00, and I'm guessing that from the reaction, he was telling the 00 that wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
I see them.
Even from the helicopter, the contact with the 00 comes after the netcode from the 65.
Well, and when you're inside the truck, though, you don't know that. All you know is that 1 minute you're going forward, the next minute, in his case, he rolled on his side, on his roof, on his top. I think he needs his son Devin to come back and do some work on that truck. I mean, he's had plenty of experience. Devin last year worked on Trevor Bain's 6 car, and you know how many times it was wrecked during the season. So we always said that he should be an expert repair person. I think he's front suspension. I'm sure Dad might not need so much front suspension. I think he needs a lot more body, maybe some quick Bondo, but he pitted and everybody's going to line up. It's going to be an interesting finish because, like you said, 8 to 10 trucks involved in it in the long run. Beezer got sent backwards. Chuck ended up getting rolled into the wall and hit by somebody else. It was an ugly, ugly scene. So 10 out of 20, is that right? 10 out of 20 trucks almost were involved. So that means it doesn't bode well for the finish of the race, obviously, because if you have a lot of what I call dead trucks or damaged trucks, that's definitely going to slow down, and make the likelihood of another caution more prevalent, even though we've only got, we'll go green, but it may only be 2 laps, is my guess, by the time they clean this mess up.
Hey, Donnie Garrett, this is Mark and Ben in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys. What's up?
Hey, man, we see you up there in P3 now. You've been having a pretty good race. No surprise, nothing can touch that Astro Glide truck. Everything seems to just slide off of it.
Yeah, that's true.
What, man, you're surrounded by those BSR guys, though. What, you being kind of a lone wolf, and you race everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. What's it going to take for you to get some help to get to the front of this race?
Let me tell you, I'm up here lobbying. I just told Bama he was one of the greatest drivers ever, and I'm going back through the list here behind me and just buttering them all up.
Now, using butter, huh?
How's your race been? We've seen some big wrecks.
Pretty good.
You've been able to avoid them all.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I got a black flag early on a pit stop, and it put me in the back, and that kind of changed my fuel position. That's what got me back up here. So really, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. But like I say, just up here. But like I say, I got a lot of BSR guys around me. But hey, I want to thank you for putting on this race. I want to thank Pete. I know he's going through a tough time right now. I'm a dog lover too, so I feel for him, and all the other owners and pockets from BSR and all them guys. This is a great race, and we're gonna see what we can get here. And I definitely can win. I don't want to. I haven't tried to put myself out front yet, but I know a lot of those guys topped off back there and then put on some tape, so I'm kind of concerned about that. But this thing could be over within a lap.
Absolutely. Another caution could quickly end this race, so I assume you're going to want to go out there and make your move right away.
Yeah, I'm going to do as fast as I can, but I got a feeling that if the 38 gets clear of the 201, he's going to come down. If the 201 gets clear of the 38, he's going to go up. And that's what's going to happen. And then it's going to be the rest of us to feed for ourselves back here. And it's just, who wants it, who wants to help. And, you get this close, you can smell that wind, man. It's so tough. But we're gonna give them heck here and look for an exciting finish.
All
Nobody
right.
picked me, did they?
No, nobody did pick you. Nope.
All right, good.
Lights are out on the caution truck. We'll let you get back in there. It looks like you guys are going to attempt a 5-lap shootout. So good luck with these 5 laps.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, so there we go. Lights are out. We're going to restart. 5 laps to go. Last pick of the night, Pete Sindone. He's actually, since he's Pete and he owns ECT, he can make as many picks as he wants. He's saying it's going to be John Forgione, Chuck McClure, Mike Scott, or Greg Trogdon. So if any of those 4 win this race, Pete Sindone called it.
Tell him he forgot Bama and I don't know who else. I think Bama is about it left. No, I just talked to Bama, as a matter of fact, and he said he's got his truck taped up. Obviously, he's been in a few little incidents here and there, but he says it just depends on if he can get any help, and he does have great Trogdon behind him, ECT spoiler. So as the pace truck makes a hard left off into pit road, the trucks stay under caution and under speed as they make their way through the tri-oval, with BSR Pockets and Texan leading the field.
And here we go. Texan has chosen the low line. Green flag, 5 laps to go. Texan jumps out to a lead. He's going to try and pull up in front of Pockets, I believe.
I think we got...
Go
ahead. I was just going to say, I think we've only got 2 laps of green flag racing to go.
Oh, these guys are 4 wide in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, like I said, two laps max. And right now, there goes Bama with help from Greg Trogdon on the bottom. And you can see Donnie's a little loose. He was getting jacked up there by the 83 truck. And Bama, though, is being blocked, looks like, by Pockets, as Donnie has split the crew, and it looks like Killa is in the front, followed by Donnie Garrett, and then Pockets is going to make sure that one of his guy wins. And then you got Bama, you got Poor Boy, you got Greg Trogdon, and then you got the rest of the crew. And the question is, if they can stay green, then we might get a surprise winner. Right now, if things don't change, we got contact there. Whoa!
And that's a caution. Oh. This race is over. Who's going to win the race back to the line?
It's going to be pretty hard to knock Killa out of the way, especially with that 5-car protective detail he's got there.
Nobody's going to. Donnie Garrett, he doesn't have anybody to help him make a move.
No, Bama gets cut off, and he spins, and he takes the 41 with him. Chuck McClure, good, heck of a save by McClure. McClure, though not in the lead, he at least kept it going forward. That one I hope is going to get looked at, because they came right down on Bama and spun him, and then when Bama spun, he took out Greg Trogdon and others, and that was a heck of a move by Chuck McClure. He may not win this race, but he should probably get the move of the race if you go back there and check it out.
And here we go. I gotta say, nobody picked him to win, but I'm not surprised to see him up there. He wins a lot of races. PSR Texan pulls off the victory, and Donnie Garrett, the nature boy, not able to win this race, but certainly a second place finish is going to set him up pretty good for the PEBN TV Championship. And then BSR RJ Rusty, man, a podium finish after being a lap down, I believe, earlier. He owner of the Medicine Chest. He'll be hosting the Polar Bear 500 at the end of the year. Great run for the 102 truck.
Looks like the first ECT driver will be in sixth place. ECT poor boy Roger Blevins, and then after him, you got Chuck McClure. You got Chuck McClure and several others, including Beezer, who got. I think it was Beezer that really Beezer did quite the side spin, kind of what I call a curly special there, as he did woo, 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 around, but he ended up back on his wheels somehow. But I wish we had a way we could do an instant replay, because I just caught the last half of it, but Chuck McClure was going for the big wreck there, and was able to yank it down right and yank it up left, and was able to save it as the thunderclouds roll in here at Talladega, but they haven't got to the track yet. That's just back noise if you hear them. The thunder's miles away, I could tell from the lights.
And here we go, under caution, race ending caution. As they come around this time, it will be the white flag. BSR Texan 201, your race winner, Donnie Garrett, in that 77 Astroglide truck takes second place. RJ Rusty third in the 102. Yeah, great recovery for Chuck McClure. We saw on that restart, we were restarting with 5 to go. Chuck McClure and Mike Scott were starting at the very back of the field, and Chuck was able to avoid all of that late race caution and move all the way back up to P7. There's no doubt the 17 is going to get the bonus points for leading the most laps tonight, so he's still going to come out of here in pretty good shape for the TV championship.
Going back a little further, it looked like BSR Scar is going to come home in fourth place. We already spoke about Rusty. Scar in fourth, and we got Pockets in fifth. Like I said, ECT Poor Boy in sixth place. Red Chevy, as you pointed out earlier, is going to finish seventh. Beezer in eighth. Mike Scott, he ended up a lap down from that debacle in 16th place. Bama ninth. He was kind of the center of that. He was down on the bottom, and he kind of got pinched. And when he got pinched, I don't know if there was actual contact or just it took the air off him, but him and Greg Trogdon got together, and that kind of was that last caution, but it wasn't of his making. And of course, finishing out the top 10. Maybe we don't have 10 left. I'm only kidding. Of course we do. Looks like BSR Bubba will be the 10th driver. Will finish 10th in the field tonight. Fredo finished 11th. Let's see some of the other drivers. Looks like I said, Timbo in 16th, Bama 9th, Mike Scott ended up in 15th. See some of the others that finished but didn't finish in the top. Larry Yeager Jr. soldiered through. We didn't talk much about him, which might have been a good thing, but he ended up 14th. Josh Metallic 13th. John ECTF Diesel 95, John Forgione, ended up back in 12th after everything. Like I said, Fredo finished 11th. Congrats to Fred, because a 60% race is a long race, and I know that sometimes these long races really tear him up. So congrats to Fredo and everybody actually that finished the race, as this was one of the longest races that we've ran in several years, since the 10th annual ECT Halloween 500, which again will be here on Pony Express in October. So toward obviously the end of October. So it'll be a great night. But we're gonna have an event or two, hopefully between that and then. So we'll see. As some of the cards just say, forget it and call it a night. Or could some of them be almost out of gas?
Everybody coming up, giving congratulatory taps to 201 BSR Texan. Oh, and then he gets spun out there.
Sometimes people over congratulate.
We'll see if Texan has enough fuel to. He should. We had a couple late cautions. He should have enough fuel to give us a burnout here.
Quite a race. As BSR Texan will go ahead and take home the points lead in the PBN Championships. I guess you could call it series, online series, or online racing series.
The TV Championship.
Thank you, TV Championship. Yeah, Texan will take the lead. But you'll know that we've got, you said, what, 3 more of these this year alone. And there we go. He lights them up as he locks them up and then starts the burnout process. And he'll probably burn those tires down till they blow.
Yes, we are tentatively looking at 3 more races. The Halloween 500, the Polar Bear 500, and there is a race in July that has details being worked out that would be a part of the TV Championship.
And I can tell if the other races are going to be like this race, it's going to be not only some excellent racing, but some hard-fought racing, that's for sure.
All right, so we're going to head over to Victory Lane, see if we can't get our podium sitters in here. Could you grab our podium sitters for me?
The 102?
Yeah, the 201, the 102, and the 77.
Alrighty, hold on.
All right, we've got our podium finishers here from the Pot of Gold 300 in Victory Lane. The first race out of 4 televised events, part of the PEBN TV Championship, and the winner of the first race tonight, the 201 BSR Texan. Texan, congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you very much, Mark.
You had a lot of teammates out there, man, but I tell you what, the Nature Boy, he was going to try to pass you there at the end.
Yeah, he was. I gotta thank Donnie for sticking with me there at the end. I thought for sure I saw some cars coming in my mirror on the high line. I thought he was going to pull out there. He probably could have got the run and taken the win from me.
Now, when we restarted with 5 laps to go, how were you thinking? I've got to stay out front right now because there's a good chance the caution is going to come out and end this thing.
Oh yeah. I was just pretty much mirror driving, hoping to see whichever line was moving the fastest and be able to stay in front of that line.
And then second place, Donnie Garrett in the 77 Astroglide truck. We talked to you shortly before that final restart. It didn't look like you had anybody to help you there at the end. Weren't able to make a move.
Yeah, it's about myself there, man. But I like Texan. He's a good buddy of mine, and I knew I had all those BSR guys behind me, so if I'd have went high, they were like faking high. And I know Rusty there was faking high, and I was going to go and just take a shot at it, but I said, if I do, they're just going to hang me, and I don't blame them. They're teammates. I mean, that's what you do. But I knew my best way to finish that thing was going to be stay right there behind Texan, and he's helped me along the way, and I've gotten some sets from him, I think, over some time, and he helps me whenever I have a question for him. So I thought I'd just stay behind him and push him right on in there.
And third place finisher tonight, amazing run by the 102. RJ, congrats on the podium.
Thank you very much. And I love what Donnie just said. I was faking high. Donnie, I was going high. I just didn't have any help with me. But Donnie run me clean there at the end after we got through that little mess. And I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot of good teamwork going on. There's so many BSR Shamrock cars that sometimes I didn't know who was what unless I looked at my F2. But good race. So a lot of fun.
Awesome job by all of you. Awesome job by all 36 drivers who started this race tonight at ECT, the Pot of Gold 300. We'll give the mic back to BSR Texan, our race winner, and let him give some shout outs.
10-4, yeah, there's a lot of them there. First, I'd like to start with ECT. I'd like to thank Pete Sindone, Greg Trogdon for putting this event on, inviting everybody out to race. Had a lot of fun. I'd like to thank Pony Express. You guys do a great job on the broadcast. Everybody who came out and ran, participated tonight. It was all a lot of fun. Great race. And of course, Drunken Cow Jerky, www.drunkencowjerky.com.
And second place finisher, Donnie, who are your shout outs tonight?
I want to give a shout out, like I said, to ECT, man, for putting this thing on, and BSR. These, like I said, I've said this a million times in some of my races I've called with you. Our industry is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. We need to stick together. We need to take our big wads and work with each other and keep this thing going as long as we can. But this was an interleague thing tonight with several different places coming in. RTG, me and Josh come over, and we felt welcomed, and had a good race, and like I said, I had a shot there at the end, but I knew there was no way I was gonna get by him, but yeah, great race.
And third place, RJ. Hopefully, we're going to hear about the Polar Bear 500.
The Polar Bear 500, but I do need to thank all the racers at ECT. Especially want to thank Pete and Greg for putting this on, and also don't want to forget about Mike Scott. He had a lot of admitting duties to go, to perform tonight, and he did it flawlessly. So I want to thank Pete, Greg, and Mike for that. BSR Pockets for doing what he does masterfully with the BSR Bomb Squad Racing Team, and my buddy BSR Scar for painting all of the BSR trucks all alike tonight. And I give a shout out to Carson Krenz as well. And also you guys, Mark, Rob, nice work tonight, all of you guys. And I appreciate everything that Pony Express does for us as well. So now that you mentioned the Polar Bear, of course, early discussions, of course, we're going to have the second annual Polar Bear 500 sometime in December. Get the schedule straight, figure out what the prize is going to be, and looking forward to it. Mark, we had a unusual request, if you will, or not really a request, but some of the customers that I don't even know at my father's pharmacy that I inherited talk about this, because we put a sign up in there about that first Polar Bear race, and there was people that checked it out, and they're inquiring about the second one as well. So since you wanted me to talk about it, it's going to happen. I can't wait for it.
Absolutely, we can't wait. Obviously, tonight's the Pot of Gold 300, the first race in the PEBN TV Championship. The season finale for the TV Championship will be the Polar Bear 500 in December. The medicine chest up there in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. But yeah, ECT, Sim Racing, East Coast Thunder, the bad boys of sim racing, Greg Trodden, Pete Sindone, Mike Scott, all the work he put in, the Pot of Gold 300. In fact, I forgot to tell you guys, actually won some cash. Not any gold, but a little bit of cash. Texan's going to take home $50. The Nature Boy's going to take home $30. RJ's going to take home $20. My guess is you probably got to get with Mike Scott to collect your winnings. I don't have it. But now I'm going to hand the mic over to Bandit and see who he wants to give a shout out to.
I just want to thank all the drivers, because if it wouldn't be for the drivers and having a good field like this, we wouldn't be able to do these broadcasts. So, I want to say thanks to them, and of course thanks to you and Pete and Pockets and Greg and everybody, because they're the ones that kind of came up with this idea of let's do this, and we're doing it, and I think it's great, and so I can't wait. I'm hoping that the one in July happens to be at a time and a place where I can at least, if nothing else, get to a computer and help you up here in the booth, because I'll be taking my computer, whether it's in Orlando or if I'm up in Nebraska. I got evenings, and we'll do these shows.
Well, I can pretty much tell you the date. The date that I have offered to do it is July 9th. It's a Sunday. And I believe this special event, it'll be another ECT special event. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know. Greg Trogdon and the rest of the ECT guys are obviously going to work that out, decide what they want to do. But I told them that I was available Sunday, July 9th. So it sounds like that will probably be the second race in the TV championship. Other than that, like we said, we've thanked all the owners, we've thanked all the sponsors. So we'll go ahead and shut this down. Pony Express Broadcast Network coming to you live tonight from ECT, East Coast Thunder, Sim Racing, the bad boys over here. Rob Nises, ECT Bandit. In the booth with me, our winner, BSR Texan. Second place, the Nature Boy, Donnie Garrett. Third place, BSR, RJ Rusty. The first annual Pot of Gold 300. Hell of a race here at Talladega tonight, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. We hope you enjoyed the show. Good night.
Hey, Mark, can I give one more shout out?
Yep. Go ahead, Donnie.
Hey, I forgot to thank. I want to thank Mike Scott for putting his set up there. That's what I used, and actually, it was a good set. It was a great set. And Chuck McClure, who I feel is the greatest racer in here, man, gave me a gear to use. And I'm telling you one thing, that thing become a rocket ship after that. And I forgot to thank him, but I think Chuck's one of the cleanest, best drivers we got, and he'll help you anytime. So I really appreciate that.
Not bad for a hillbilly.
Yeah, I've been camping with him.
There you go. So Donnie Garrett was one of the people who took the Come Get Some challenge from Mike Scott.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
I'd be more